Super Bowl Sunday, and I've flown across the country to watch the game with Norm MacDonald.
I heard everyone hates that Ben Affleck is Batman.
Yeah, but they haven't seen the movie yet.
What's the movie?
Batman.
Norm is one of the funniest people on earth, and maybe the most original.
To a podiatrist's office.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, right?
You are correct.
From his first TV appearance on Letterman,
You don't look at Deadpan zero. I'm not kidding you there.
his Saturday Night Live, his movies, and even most recently playing Colonel Sanders on Kentucky Fried Chicken commercials.
It's finger licking good.
He twists comedy in ways that don't seem possible.
But one big news story: Twister is the big what do you call it? Movie. Yeah. Twister's the big movie, and I got some news. Apparently now they're thinking about Oscars for the movie.
Yeah.
They're thinking of Best Actor for The Wind. Before the show, you said that stunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were right.
I did.
It's crazy.
They showed me.
Come and sit. The football game is about to begin.
I show up during the pregame. Some celebrities crave attention or surround themselves with handlers. Not Norm. He's just a guy in an easy chair chomping down tomato sandwiches as fast as his mom can pump them out.
Do you want to sit down with us or no?
And in foreign news today, there's this.
You know, my favorite update joke was, yippee! Jerry Rubin died today. I'm sorry, that should read, yippee Jerry Rubin.
That's a good one. I like that. I remember that one.
Rumor was he was going to be replaced as a KFC pitchman on this day. It's true.
Colonel pretending to be me.
Norm jokes about how on the set that day, no one would tell him the truth.
But also, beyond that, wouldn't they think you'd go back if they were not telling you the truth, right?
Yeah, I don't know what they thought. It was all strange, but...
Not that he cared much.
All right, here we go.
Norm has developed a habit for tweeting throughout sports events. He's also a veteran handicapper.
The proper bet is Denver.
Denver, okay. You wrote Deaver.
So it's worth noting, Norm has had some problems with gambling in the past, but he knows how to pick a game. The problem comes when he starts picking every game.
Well, I remember when I was hosting Saturday Night Live, I had every hockey under. There's like 14 games. When they say, oh, just gamble what you can afford, well, then there's no gamble to it. You know what I mean? What's the gamble?
Yeah.
We talk football, then we move to Russian literature, a genuine passion of his.
But Gogol was an ultra-realist.
Fact is, Norm can have a conversation about almost anything.
Put a knife in and twist it around your brain. So were the Yoko songs those experimental weird things? Now we're at a point where there's 1,011,30 guys. God damn, there's the interception.
We talk about his career, but it's not to boast. Norm rarely boasts.
It was so hard because I had to act in it, you know what I mean? And I can't act, so that was...
Norm is not just good, he's the best.
I didn't steal them. I paid $1.50 for these.
He's unlike virtually anyone I've ever heard tell a joke. He tells winding stories that seem to die. Then he keeps going and they spring to life, like a 13-minute John Coltrane solo.
And in this hellish facade once
How long a drive was this?
We head over to his other condo to watch the game with his son.
Ah, what are you doing?
Just like before, Norm sits down, opens his laptop, and we watch football.
Oh, no, that's going to look bad for Cam. You got that hit out because it takes too long.
It's no longer like I'm with a comedic genius or even an interview subject. I'm just hanging with a guy named Norm.
By the ref.
I understand why David Letterman had him on as the last stand-up of his late-night show.
He's not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh, my God.
He's just a genuine guy.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, and the Broncos won. They scored 24. Not bad, Norm.
That was very sweet, Norm. Good night, everybody.
Wanna get da 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 and get this fixed. Come just just touch my lips.
I thought my life's pretty interesting too, you know? So this is me. This is my
show is called Norm?
Norm +1. It's a crazy life.
But it's ours.
Hey, don't you gotta go to school or something?
Yeah.
Do you have homework? Did you do your homework?
Yeah.
They give you homework there?
Yep.
I watched because I went down that rabbit hole after I watched the clip, and I watched him tell the moth joke.
Right.
And, you know, it's interesting. It reminded me, my dad told jokes that way. He was just so inherently funny
Yeah.
that a 2-minute joke takes 10 minutes. The punchline is the least of it. You're going on the journey. And that's the same thing with Norm. It's like, I don't care how long this takes.
No.
Because it's just fun watching him tell a story.
I hadn't seen the moth joke since it aired, and I had no memory of it. And he's so delightful doing it. You just
and you almost forget that it was a joke even to begin with. It's like, oh, I don't even remember what the premise was anymore.
Yeah.
He's such like a disruptor. Like the night of the moth joke show, I remember I was walking off, like Act 1, we do all the comedy stuff, and then I have to go off stage and we go edit, you know, pull it up or tighten it or whatever. I go back to the edit room, and I left the studio, and I'm walking in a hallway, and Norm's being brought the other direction to be the guest. And I know him only to say hello, like in a very superficial showbiz way, not at all. And I had my arm in a sling because I broke my arm, and he's like, hey, it was like an excuse for him to just stop and start talking to me. And he just started going, yeah, you know, my uncle broke his arm, and oh boy, and he started going into this long story, and I'm like, why is he doing this? And then I realized, like, the stage manager and the segment producer, all these people were around him, and they were trying to hustle him out to, you know, the commercial break was ending, and I swear I was thinking, like, he's just doing this to bust their balls. Because he just went on a monologue for like 2 minutes, and they're kind of like looking at their watches and freaking out. And I was like, I think he just loves, he's disrupting.
Pushing people's buttons. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do tell the moth joke in the book. You told it on the Tonight Show with Conan back when he was doing the Tonight Show. It was it's a long kind of joke, and just a few months ago, maybe about a year ago, it kind of got revived online, and people were putting it up online, calling it the best telling of a joke ever on television. But Norm, that seemed to me like you were experimenting there. You were trying to experiment with. You knew the punchline, and you knew the beginning of it, and you knew it was a pretty straightforward street joke, but you wanted to experiment with how to get from one point to another.
Yeah, it was both an experiment and it was an experiment born of necessity, because Conan told me I had to do a second spot, which you'll sometimes do. But I said, I don't have anything else to say. I have nothing left to tell you. And so then I thought of this joke that Colin Quinn had told me, this street joke.
A moth goes into a podiatrist's office, and the podiatrist's office says, what's the problem? And the moth says, what's the problem? Where do I begin, man? He goes, I go to work for...
That was just a 2-line joke. It was just a, one-liner times 2. So then I thought, well, how can I do I started thinking during the commercial, is it possible to do a one-liner for an entire 6-minute segment? So I thought, if I can put in between this very a little boy's joke, just a set of horrifying facts laid end to end, then it could make the sweetness way funnier at the end, because they'll have completely forgotten where I was. And so it ended up working by fluke, like often things will when you're experimenting.
I need your love. You free my mind. I need your love. Yeah, you free my mind.
It's Doc. Sometimes I feel like a spider, even though I'm a moth. just barely hanging on to my web with an everlasting fire underneath me. I'm not feeling good. And so the doctor says, Moth, man, you're troubled. But you should be seeing a psychiatrist. Why on earth did you come here? And then the moth said, because the light was on.
And then what happens with the computer is that people put things on the computer and they live forever.
In Duluth, Minnesota, authorities suspect arson was to blame for a fire that destroyed a mobile home and killed 73 cats. The chief suspect so far? This dog. Dogs don't care for cats much, you know. How could they not know that? This week, Disney released a new CD featuring a rapping Mickey Mouse. To avoid controversy, the CD will not include the controversial hit single, Cat Killer. And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?"
You know, cat ladies, they're so crazy, they're always thought to be crazy. You know what's even crazier? Snake ladies.
Oh, yeah.
They have
Absolutely.
This is so your style right here.
What?
The writers, whoever they are, they're writing, they know how to write for you. Just read this one.
Cats and paraplegics have a lot in common. For starters, neither appreciates going into your pool.
No, you didn't read it right. Neither appreciates being tossed in your neighbor's pool.
Yeah, they deserve a raise.
Know the end this day, nobody's gonna change. You won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need.
Am I able to have a good time? My cat just had a heart attack.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he had a heart. You ever hear such a crazy thing?
No, I didn't know they got things like that.
Yeah, they get heart attacks. So I got it off Steve Corrin, this writer up at
Sure,
Saturday Night
I know
Live.
him, yeah.
Yeah, so he gives me his cat. Turns out it's some kind of a defective cat, you know? So he's a nice cat and everything. I'm getting along with him. I come back to my apartment last week. The cat's like foaming at the mouth. He's shaking like this. He's foam coming out. So I didn't want to get near it. I thought maybe he'd, who knows? He was delirious. Maybe he'd think I'm a mouse. So I said, I didn't want to get near him. So I phoned 911. You know, I panicked. I phoned 911.
Right.
Which it turns out it's just for people. I didn't know that.
Didn't know either.
They got mad, man. They said they would have me arrested if I phoned back.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, you know, I love this cat. It's a good cat. So I took him down. I got him in a cab, and I took him down to the hospital, the animal hospital. And the guy tells me my cat had a heart attack. He takes him away. He says, oh, yeah, he had cardiac arrest and stuff. And he started asking me questions about, like, he says, I said, what would cause that? He goes, you know, diet, stress.
Stress?
Yeah. No, he had a big promotion coming up. So, and then he let me visit the cat. He says, you can visit the cat, you know. There's visiting hours. I go, all right. So you go in this room, and then they bring the cat in a cage. He's all drugged up. And then they put the cat, like, on a bed. And then the guy goes, okay, we'll be back in a half an hour. You have half an hour, you know? So I'm with the cat, like, for half an hour. So after 5 minutes, you know, I figured, I got a life to get back to. You know, it's a cat. So we go out, and so afterwards he told me he had a lot of, he said he could have an operation, which was like $4,000, which, you know, I could buy like 100 cats for that, you know? But then I figured, what the hell would I do with 100 cats?
Right. So you got the cat. You sprung for the operation.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
No, there was another thing where he's on medication. You know, and I have him on medication. I have this medication. And he said there was some good news and bad news. He said the bad news was the cat only has like a 20% chance of survival. But he says the good news is it's just a cat.
doctor. He's a bad doctor, too.
Today there was a story about, like, Dave Chappelle released a special on Netflix today.
Oh, he did today?
And,
Yeah.
And there's a joke in there where he says that it was okay what Kevin Spacey did to Anthony Rapp because Anthony Rapp grew up to be gay anyway. And he went on to say it's actually not okay, but he's taking some heat for it. Do you think it's right or wrong or for him to say something like that? Do you think it's okay to say? Or what do you think?
I think Chappelle's the greatest comedian.
If women are actually equal to men, then there would be no WNBA, would there? You would just be good enough to play in the NBA with us. Or, here's another idea that's going to be very controversial. You could shut the fuck up.
After closing out a successful first season, the WNBA is considering several changes to improve the level of play in the league next year. Among the proposals, extending the playoffs, increasing salaries, bringing back the three-point line, and replacing all the female players with guys. The WNBA officials expanded to 10 teams this week, adding franchises in Detroit and Washington, D.C. But before you get too excited about the new additions to the league, remember, all of the players are still women. They stink at basketball, that's the problem. Other than that, it'd be a good, good game, but they're all horrible, so it makes for a kind of a boring game.
The next time I watch a WNBA game will be the first time I watch a WNBA game.
I know more than half the people in this room have been molested in their lives. But it wasn't no goddamn Michael Jackson, was it? This kid got his dick sucked by the king of pop. You know how good it must have felt to go to school the next day after that shit? Hey, Billy, how was the weekend? How was my weekend? Michael Jackson sucked my dick. And that was my first sexual experience. If I'm starting here, then sky's the limit.
Yeah. I mean, even like you say, your unwanted WNT allegations against Michael Jackson, there had to be kids that were like, well, this is pretty cool. Yeah. This is not some old priest.
The rule is that no matter what you do in your artistic expression, you are never, ever allowed to upset the alphabet people. You know who I mean. Those people that took 20% of the alphabet for themselves. I'd say the letters, but I don't want to conjure their anger. It's too late now. I'm talking about them L's and them B's and them G's and the T's.
He should have just gone, I'm a lady, and then that would have been good for the LGBTG. The community, the community. I don't know if you've been over, seen them and shit, but it's a nice community. And it would have been good. All the LGBTBL. I try to be inclusive of all the letters in the alphabet.
Everybody in the car respects the T's, but everyone also resents the T's. It's not the T's fault, but everyone in the car just feels like the T's are making the trip take longer.
I'm saying, do you think any of them go, I wonder if those, do you ever think at the meetings they go, could I, because in their community, the LGBT community, I don't know where it exists, where they have their headquarters, but do you ever think the L's, the G's, and the B's go, I have an idea. The T's, I think it's LGB sounds good. And then somebody else will go, somebody with a hat that look like Carmen Mirandas would go, no, I like LGBT. And then the other person, you're going to get a lot of trouble for this segment.
I'm not.
What?
I'm not.
I love everybody. You know what I mean? Without love, what do we got? I don't care if a guy's a guy, a girl, a guy, girl. I couldn't care less. I love them all.
What do you make of...
I'll have sex with any of them.
So you're the B?
Huh?
You're the B?
No, I'm a person that is so tolerant that I would have sex with an L, a G, a B, or a T. Isn't that nice? But I would not have sex with a straight person.
You know, all afternoon, as we do this, you've been playing on and off with a cigarette. Do you smoke?
I quit smoking a year ago.
Good for you.
Thank you. You quit smoking?
Yeah.
And you, when you smoked at the Tomorrow Show...
We puffed. We didn't smoke. We puffed.
You probably caused many children to start smoking.
So you hold a cigarette and you never light it?
Yes, it helps me. I have an oral fixation, the doctors tell me. That never... I'm like Beretta.
Are you doing this to be a funny thing, or do you really have to kind of
I'm doing it. No, I feel that I have an oral fixation. You know about that.
I don't have that, by the way.
If it's not this, I go straight. You don't like sucking cock?
I don't like sucking cock. I mean, I have done it.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it. You know why I wouldn't like it?
Why?
Aren't those animals, like inside the cum? Like I remember
the sperm. You mean?
Yeah. So to me, like it's a bunch of animals and stuff.
And long.
I know to smoke.
I'll smoke it for you if you
No,
right.
No, I'm trying to.
I just figured it would be rude not to offer you a light.
It's nice, but I'm trying not to. And I feel if I
sitting there with a cigarette,
I feel if I took one puff. I have an oral fixation, my doctor tells me, which is not good.
How did he know that?
I was sucking his cock. I was sucking his cock.
Okay, since nicotine is such an addictive drug, do you think someday you'll have to have a prescription to buy a pack of cigarettes?
Well, they always bring up the Constitution and talk about how we should still have the right to a militia and all that. But let's face facts, this country was built on tobacco growers. So, if you're going to start changing... If you're not going to change one thing because it comes from way back then, you can't change this either. There are farmers out there who make a living. Tobacco is one of the crops that got this country going. So, no, I don't think they'll ever make it illegal.
Yeah, no, they shouldn't make it illegal. I know.
I think Norm's backing me up on that. What motivated you to quit?
Well, I guess I read this thing about how it was like a phallic symbol, and my doctor went in. He said, you probably have an oral fixation, which you know what that means. Let's not kid ourselves, right? So that's why I always smoke like cigarettes instead of cigars, because if I'm gonna have I like a little white thin cock, you know?
Are we back to cocks again, huh? I go away to Ohio, Middletown, the center of the universe, to take a nice clean call, and then I space out. I'm thinking, I can't listen to Norm for a second. I gotta get a time cue here. I come back and you're talking about having a thin white cock in your...
I don't have a thin white cock. In my cock, you mean?
No.
In my mouth. No, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this. I'm just saying
don't make the mistake of thinking I fucking listen to you.
I just want to make it clear about that cock thing. I was just saying, if I ever was gay, if they suddenly made it mandatory or something, then I would choose the smallest cock, and I would like a guy that came fast. I don't know. I thought the subject was cock.
No, cocks is next week.
I'm sorry. Does that answer your question? Yes, it does. Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. It's an exciting day here at 30 Rock. You know, the Rosie O'Donnell show premiered today. And I was in its tapes at the same floor as Saturday Night Live on 8H. They had flowers sent. There was the whole, it's unbelievable. You know, people must love her. There's flowers all along the entire 8H.
Right.
All flowers. They're sent by, like, there's one from Madonna, one from Elizabeth Taylor, Regis and Kathy Lee. I've never seen so many flowers. It was, I didn't even realize you could eat flowers. I didn't even know that. But, no.
Hiya, Rosie. I'll be your pal.
That's
mighty neighborly of you,
Yeah.
Norm.
No, she's
Nice
great.
of you to eat all those flowers.
No, she's great. The show is great, you know.
You're screwed now.
Postal authorities removed a cigarette from a photo of blues artist Robert Johnson to help dignify the musician in a new stamp they've issued in his honor. This isn't the first time the post office has altered a photograph. In fact, the original photo used on the Elvis stamp was based on this photo. King enjoying a hoagie. Ted Kennedy says now that he's won re-election, he can finally relax, get off that crazy diet, and really let himself go. New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings. Men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food, while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. Last week, Duchess of York Sarah Ferguson visited the Big Apple and showed off her 14-pound weight loss. Hopefully, this will not interfere with her official duties of sitting on her fat ass all day long. On a talk show recently, Joey Buttafuoco said of Amy Fisher, "I hope she gets hers and dies in prison like Jeffrey Dahmer. And when she does, I will go out and eat cake." Moments later, however, he admitted, "Look, I'll be honest with you, even if nothing bad happens to Amy Fisher, I'll probably go out and eat cake." In what is considered a remarkably short period of time, the head of the Federal Advisory Board, Dr. Peter Mellman, has given speedy approval to a controversial new anti-obesity drug. It should be noted, however, Dr. Mellman's wife is a fat pig. This week in Minneapolis, the Minnesota Obesity Center officially opened. Its goals? To find ways to identify behaviors that lead to obesity. Also, it's a good place to meet fat chicks. And in California, Christian Brando was released from state prison Monday after serving nearly 5 years for killing his sister's boyfriend. Meanwhile, his father, Marlon Brando, ate 9 pizzas. Well, at a local town meeting in Montpelier, Vermont last week, representatives from the McDonald's Corporation, who want to put a restaurant in a historic district, were booed by angry residents, but they were cheered by the town fat guy. Every town has one, the town fat guy. John Goodman has announced that he will not be returning to Roseanne next year. So how will the show get rid of him on screen? Well, insiders now say that over the last few episodes of the season, Roseanne will gradually eat him. According to a controversial new biography, Elizabeth Taylor likes her lovemaking loud, rough, and frequent. Coincidentally, that's also how she likes to eat. Well, television history will be made this week when film legend Elizabeth Taylor appears as herself on all 4 CBS Monday night sitcoms. It's part of the network's new campaign, Must Eat TV. She enjoys eating. The New York Post has reported that Michael Jackson wants his closest friend in the world, Elizabeth Taylor, to be the godmother of his child. However, those close to the pair worry that this could eventually lead to heated arguments over whether the child will be molested or eaten. Yeah, Ricky Lake, you know, she really is an animal lover, though. She has 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a big ass that follows her around everywhere. Former Wilson Phillips member Carney Wilson's new talk show kicked off this month. According to Carney, her show will be different from the others in that guests will be treated with respect and dignity. And then she will eat them. Talk show host Ricky Lake has announced that she will finally publicly apologize for her role in a destructive anti-fur demonstration. Then she will eat a huge can of frosting. In the new movie Mrs. Winterbourne, talk show host Ricky Lake plays the part of a young mother-to-be. According to film's producers, Miss Lake was so serious about achieving a realistic pregnant look, she forced herself to lose 30 pounds. This week, renowned heart surgeon Michael DeBakey attacked the hypocrisy of Hollywood stars who oppose the use of animals in medical research and yet wear ribbons supporting the war on deadly diseases like AIDS. In response, animal activist Ricky Lake said, quote, "But the red ribbon diverts attention from my gigantic ass." A sad story from the world of entertainment this week. Talk show host Ricky Lake had to get rid of her dog Dudley after the pooch became too aggressive with her 7-month-old son Milo. A clearly saddened Lake said, "It broke my heart to get rid of that dog, but he was delicious." She ate a whole dog. In Virginia, police are looking for a stripper who stabbed a man for telling her she was too fat to strip. Police warn that the woman is armed and extremely fat. At an emotional press conference this week, a now exonerated Richard Jewell spoke about his ordeal as the chief suspect in the Olympic Park bombing. Quote, "I couldn't think straight, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't eat," he said. Then later he admitted, "All right, I could eat. I couldn't sleep, though. I had trouble." The FBI, still pursuing its investigation of the Olympic Park bombing, has decided to launch an internet web page. Net users can log on to view crime scene photos, leave tips, and try to guess Richard Jewell's weight. Last weekend, in a dramatic rescue off the coast of Long Island, fishermen pulled a 300-pound man from frigid waters. They were alerted by his desperate cries of, "Help, help, I'm starving, I'm starving." Big fat guy. In New Zealand, a convicted swindler who weighs 670 pounds has been sentenced to house arrest because he is too big for prison. According to prison officials, it took 4 inmates just to rape him. Huge man.
Norm, I don't understand something.
Right.
You went to a doctor, you said, hey, what's with me? I'm around Elle McPherson and I'm not getting aroused.
I didn't mention her.
Yeah, but and you start to get concerned that, hey, why am I not getting aroused around these beautiful women?
Yeah, because I used to always get aroused all the time, no matter what. Like, I could see a giant fat woman, like, part of her ass.
Right, and you get excited by that.
Yeah.
Are you on medication of any kind?
No. I just, now I'm just...
Do you need that testosterone patch or something?
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, it makes you more masculine. You know what I mean?
But then your hair falls out.
Yeah, you got to be careful about that.
So, Norm, what do you think about?
What?
When you're masturbating?
What do you think about?
Well, you know, like...
Fat woman's ass? No. Like, who do you think? Did you ever think about Elle McPherson?
No.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Who do you think about?
I don't think
girls
about...
you just
I'll
met.
tell you something. I can't think about, like, girls that I don't think I could have sex with, because I don't have that good an imagination.
Right, it's got to be someone you think you can get.
Right.
That's how I am. Right. So
I sometimes I think of, like, kind of unattractive girls where I'm...
right, when you're doing stuff. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do that too, though.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like one of the interns here or something I'll think about, because I think that, like, I could definitely get her. You ever think about Rosie O'Donnell when you're doing it?
Good Lord.
No way, right?
Name some names.
Yeah, name some names of who you think about.
You know what Rosie O'Donnell would be good at giving?
What?
Really wide head.
Oh, that's funny. Does Rosie O'Donnell have the biggest head on the planet?
Yeah,
she really does. How much does her head weigh? Do you take a guess?
About her head weight?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that age-old argument, I'm not going to get into.
You're not even going to get into it.
Yeah.
I see. And she's on the new $100 bill. Did you see her picture? It's pretty wild.
Now, you recently gave a speech at the University of Iowa, and I'm told that 80% of the audience walked out. What could you possibly have said to them to make 80% of them walk out?
Oh, it wasn't a speech. It was like some stand-up.
Yeah, well, what did you say to them?
I was just talking, like, I don't have my stand-up act. I just talk about whatever I'm thinking about lately.
So
but at the time, it was about having sex with animals. But it wasn't, like, weird. It was like, I'm not in favor. I'm not in favor of it. But I was just talking about it because I thought it was odd. Like, they have a word for it, bestiality. And nobody I know has ever done it. Nobody I know, you know what I mean? I've never known anybody that's ever known anybody that's ever had sex with animals. But a lot of people are having sex with animals on account of they got that word, bestiality. It's in the dictionary. It ain't easy to get a word in the dictionary.
So somebody's doing it.
Somebody's got to be going, hey, man, even if some animals, hey, we got to come up with a word, whatever. So I can't remember what joke, but it was some joke about, like, I said, I feel sorry for the animal because, you know, they get to have sex with a super hot lady, and then the next day they bring him back to another pig. You know, because the pig initially, he was having sex with another pig. He didn't know. He was, hey, this is a nice looking thing. But then they go, you know. And then I also said I feel sorry for. Imagine if you watch one of those video, you know, of a guy, a pig having sex with a woman, and then you recognize that, hey, isn't that woman that wouldn't go out with me? It's just a harmless joke.
Now, you have children, right, by your previous marriage?
I have a boy. I have a little boy.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Now, would you like him to go into stand-up?
Stand-up comedy?
Yeah.
It's
a good job, isn't it?
It's not. It's kind of tough on 8-year-olds.
Yeah, well, maybe when he got older.
Maybe when he gets older, you know.
Would you, if you went to see him talk and he told you that joke started telling you a joke about the pig, would you be offended or would you say, son, that's a great joke. I'm so proud I told you that joke.
I would laugh at that joke because it's not, as long as a joke doesn't promote a bad thing. You know, you can comment.
So this sort of
you can comment on a bad thing. You can do a joke about cigarettes. It doesn't mean you want people to smoke.
You're actually discouraging women from having sex with pigs, right?
Exactly. I am against it. I am solidly against it.
Well, on that note, thank you, Norm MacDonald, for being...
I like some pornography, you know. Sometimes I just get so repelled by it, you know. Oh, you ever have those friends of yours go, hey, man, I got a video of a guy fucking a pig. You're like, I don't care. I don't Yes, I'm a computer. I'm a computer expert. Yeah, I'm right into the computer. I got snakes coming out of ladies' asses, all kinds. I can show it to you. Come on in mine. I'm like, no, that's all right. I don't want to see it. This guy fucking a pig, man. I didn't even think that was real. You know, that's bestiality, right? That's what they call it. Bestiality. That's a real thing, man. I never heard of a dude doing that. Like, nobody. I know a lot of people, man. None of them, to my knowledge, have ever fucked an animal. You know what I mean? I never even heard a guy knew a guy. You know what I mean? But I know that people fuck animals on account of they got that word bestiality. You know what I mean? That's not easy, getting a fucking word. You know what I mean? It's hard getting a word going. They had to have calls at the goddamn dictionary office going, hey man, what the fuck am I supposed to say when I fuck my animal? I got no word for that. You guys gotta put a word there in the dictionary. I got some lobby going there because people are fucking animals. I don't understand. I feel sorry for the animal because that's not consenting. And, you know, also, man, can you imagine if you're a pig, you know, and you're having sex with a beautiful lady, right? And then afterwards, you got to go home and fuck a pig, right? Before you didn't know, you were like, hey, this pig's all right? You don't know it's a dirty pig. Then you're having sex with a beautiful lady, and then they're like, yeah, go fuck pigs again. You're like, you dirty bastard. You burned me. What if you're watching, get this man, what if you're watching one of those movies, right? And you're saying, hey man, there's a pig fucking a lady. And then you're like, hey, wait a second. That's that lady that wouldn't dance with me last Friday. She's fucking a pig, man. She wouldn't dance with me. It's terrible. I don't mean, just dirty for no reason. But that computer stuff, that is just all filth, you know? I don't see anything. Everybody says, oh man, everything's gonna be different. Everything, if you get a computer, then I get a computer, I go, well, what the fuck do I do with it? They go, hey, you can email people. It's amazing. You write in there, and then it goes into people, and I'm like, well, what about a fucking phone, man? That seems more amazing to me. I hear a dude's voice in China. Right? They invented that like a couple hundred years ago. It could have been 2 million. But you know, no matter what your sexual proclivity, is that a word, proclivity? I know it's a word, but I don't know what it means. I only know 9-10 words, but I bank on other people not knowing them too. But whatever your sexual, as long as you don't, have sex with animals. I think that's terror. I think it's the wrong thing because they're not, maybe they're consenting, but we don't know. The animals could be going, hey, I don't know why people are stopping this. I said yes. Male, no means no. I said fucking oink. That's what I say when I want to get fucked. Oink. But since there's no way of telling if they're consenting. I'm like that Harvard professor, Art Miller, talking about law. But anyway, the point is this. The whole point is this. I don't know what that means. I just get one of those flashbacks.
I don't think be intimidated sexually unless it's by some sort of strata of being you don't typically want to have sex with, like a cow or a camel or, in my case, a man.
Yes.
That would be intimidating for me. I don't know how all of the orifices work.
Yeah. I think that's exactly the same.
With a camel.
Yeah. Well, I'm an old chunk of coal. I'm near 50.
Uh-huh.
I'm on the same Viagra doses that they give to the donkey at the second show in Tijuana. I'm taking so many Viagra now. I'll tell you this.
What's that, Norm?
My doctor told me I'm on the same dose that they give to the donkey for the second show in Tijuana.
Okay, now listen.
For the second show, you know?
Why do I continue to have you on? And yet I love it.
No, the second show.
Why are they
Because have you ever-
prescribing it in such a responsible way? It's that terrible, detrimental act of bestiality. Don't give that donkey too much Viagra. We're not monsters. Right, now go and fuck that human being for the entertainment of the children of God.
It's been a while, and I still like the way you look at me.
What do you think is wronger?
Wrong in
more wrong. What do you think is more wrong? Having sex with a child, human being, or an adult pig?
Like, you've got to do one. That's the
You got to
options.
do one. Yeah, you're on a deserted
It's
island.
not me. It's some hypothetical
You're
person.
on a deserted
Russell
island
Brand
with a
am
single tree.
elevated. It's
You're
not
on a-
me. It's this person called Doug.
Yeah.
I won't have sex with a child because I think the pig may not be as bothered as a child. I think it could have huge psychological impact on the child. So, out of compassion, I would advise Doug to do it with the pig and to leave the child alone because of the potential psychological impact. Even though the child's on a bloody island anyway, that's going to mess him up, all that Robinson Crusoe crap. Out on the farm, watching animals doing it in rural Canada. A moose being ransacked against some timber.
Sow.
A sow.
Sow.
They, listen.
We were pig farmers.
They're not gracious creatures when it comes to conjugal matters. I recently had an
Worst
interaction.
oral sex you could imagine.
Horrible gums,
Yes.
sort of yellowing molars. I would never engage in sex with anything porcine.
Well, if you're not homophobic, why not whack off your friend that's a gay guy? Like, what's stopping you? Or blowing him?
Well-
Or letting him fuck you in the ass? What's stopping you? You're not getting anything out of it, but he's having a hell of a time.
Come on, it would be like that. It is kind of gross, you know, if you're not into it, because it's like why not jerk your dog off? You know, your dog probably
Yeah,
likes
why
it,
not?
but that's because it's gross. Yeah, he's a weird one, man.
How many people, though,
Who knew?
seriously?
Wait,
I agree with you, it's gross, but do you think that happens a lot? Like lonely people and their dogs?
Jerking off their dogs?
Oh, yeah. Every time I
Fucking their
see a
dogs?
woman walking down the street with a real big dog, I'm like, oh, they're going out.
Women?
No, they get their dogs to either go down on them. You know, Judd Apatow recently, and I'm apologizing to him.
Oh,
directly.
but his dog is
No.
sexy. Some gold-plated chains would make a nice retirement gift for a very, very good slave. Well, this
Are you serious?
Well, this was written.
Are you serious?
This was written years
Did
ago.
you just write that?
I didn't write
Did
it.
you just say that?
No, I read it. Yes.
You read that?
It was an old. It was written,
Oh
obviously.
my God Almighty! I'm not part of this.
No, it was written
No,
before.
I'm not part of this. No, you can't read that.
Well,
130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had some kind of big cotton thing. All right. In Colorado this week, Bob Dole warned that if Pat Buchanan is the Republican nominee, the party might lose both the presidency and control of Congress. In response, Buchanan warned that if anyone other than himself becomes president, blacks will retain the right to vote. Last night, the epic disaster film Twister opened to big box office and some controversy. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has called for a boycott of the movie, claiming that not enough black people in the film are killed by tornadoes. Meanwhile, Furman, who was expected to face disciplinary action by the LAPD, may get off lightly. Under the terms of a controversial plea bargain, the charges against him have been reduced to, quote, 1 count of using the word darky. In the wake of the verdict, angry Menendez defense attorney Leslie Abramson said the jury simply chose not to believe the brothers' excuse that they had been sexually abused by their father, and says she knows why. Quote, "It's because my clients are black." President Clinton was in Austin, Texas last Monday, the day of the Million Man March. The president said in a speech, "I'm here to speak to you today because right now in Washington, D.C., there's like 1 million black guys." In Nashua, New Hampshire this week, a high school student, Chris Connolly, while attempting to dunk a basketball, lost his balance, crashed down on the rim, and shattered 2 front teeth. Gee, I wonder if by some crazy chance Chris is white. This week, as America marked the 50th anniversary of Jackie Robinson's entry into Major League Baseball, there was a sobering reminder that racial prejudice in sports is not yet a thing of the past. In a shocking move, today, all but one of the 125 playing members of the Professional Golf Association has signed a petition to ban African-American golfers from the tour. And now a correction to a story we ran last week. Prince Charles is actually the one in the middle. So we apologize for that.
Do you know the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I've seen it on every single commercial.
You've seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money.
Can you find out what the quickest way is to the Santa Monica Freeway, please? And don't call me again.
Super Dad.
I don't care about anything. You don't call me again. There's no last minute fill in. There's nothing. Okay? Thank God we're only reaching 50 people.
Wait,
that's all I can tell you.
And lastly, Weekend Update has been part of SNL for 46 seasons. And here I'd like to pay tribute to one of the best we ever had, Norm MacDonald. Thank you.
Are you planning any tribute to Norm MacDonald? And can you tell us about how much he's impacted you and the staff and everything, just his legacy?
I think he meant the world to the people there. I can tell you from just the number of people I've heard from, the number of people that have gone and talked about Norm. All of us had, when you work with somebody for that many years and they make you laugh and you're aware of who they are as a person and as a friend, I think Norm was one of the funniest people I've ever known, and because he's Canadian, I put him right there up in the top 5.
Say this is an award for late night comedy. No one was funnier in the last 20 years than Norm MacDonald on late night comedy. So if you have any time in the next week, do what I did and just spend time YouTubing clips of Norm and Conan, because it just doesn't get better than that. Thanks so much.
The search continues in the Indian Ocean for the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 as they listen and try to follow the pings. These guys sound like me always listening for pings. The pings are my Chinese neighbors. Jim and Ellen Ping. Nice people, nice folks. Nice folks.
Jim Ping?
That is my neighbor. A nice fella.
Nice guy?
Let me as abacus
I want to do this.
Jesus. Oh, come on, that's not a Chinese guy.
I wasn't saying it was.
No,
That was kind of racist.
What are you, Mickey Rooney?
Hey,
come
I
on.
know he's dead,
Have
but
a little
Mickey Rooney
respect.
did a very racist thing, like you just did, in a movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's by the wonderful Truman Capote.
I wasn't doing anything racist, and you know it. But go ahead.
Yeah.
You ever see any of the old chums up there in Canada? Did you ever go up to the old rural areas of Canada?
I met a man there last time I was there that lived in the city of Cornwall, where Ryan Gosling hails. And well, it's a big city because of that now.
Yeah.
And so
Big deal, yeah.
So anyways, he was from the city, and he got tired of the rat race, racing and chasing and trying to keep up with the Joneses.
He got tired of the city life.
Yeah, so
he couldn't take it anymore.
He said, I'm going to get myself land. Land. Man needs land. So he went to the country where we live. And the soil's not arable, it's rocky, hellish. But anyways, he liked it.
Yeah.
And so the first day there, the neighbor fella, Angus McGregor, comes over. I know Angus a long time. And Angus, old fella, he says, what's your name? The guy says, Phil Henshaw. He said, you're from the city, I hear. Yes. He says, well, I just come over to say hello. God, the city fella says, isn't that something? All the years I was in the city, I never met my neighbor. I lived in an apartment, and I never met my neighbor. First day here on the farm, and here you are saying hello. Well, I'm saying more than hello, says Angus McGregor. I'm going to invite you to a welcome wagon party over at my farm. Well, the city fellow says, that's exactly what I was looking for. I guess I was looking for a sense of community as well as owning land.
Yeah.
So he says, what's the party going to be like? So Angus McGregor says, well, I won't lie to you. It gets pretty rowdy. A little drinking, a little fighting, a little fornicating. So the guy says, well, that's all right with me. What time do I show up? Angus says, it don't matter, just the two of us. Now...
Right.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was a bro. Get apart by you.
You live here, of course, in the city because you're doing the show.
I live in New York City.
Yeah. This isn't a police interrogation. Are you sure? Where about? Where in the city do you live, approximately, not specifically?
I live at 56 between 8th and Broadway.
Okay, and what's your phone number? Just give me 7 digits. All right. What? Your neighbors nice people? The people that live around you?
Great people. Every day I meet somebody new. You know, this city's great because of the neighborly people. You know. I don't know. But I did meet one neighbor. Interesting story. You know, that this guy. He just moved in, you know, next door to me. So I'm always one to meet the neighbors.
You like to chat with the neighbors,
yeah, because, you know, so I went over to the guy, I knocked on the door next door to where I live, and I say to the guy, I said, hey, I'm your new neighbor, you know, and I said, good to see you, you know, nice to run into you, you know, welcome to the neighborhood, you know. And so the guy, I said, what do you do for a living there, sir? You know, if you don't mind me asking. You know, what do you do for a living? I'm a nightclub comic, I tell the guy. So he says to me, he says, I work down at the University of Science there. He says, that's
a good school, by the way.
I can't remember the exact place.
Sure.
But he says, I'm a professor of logic. So he says, the guy says, logic. Now, what the hell is that? I never heard tell of that. He says, oh, well, he says it's a kind of a pattern of syllogistic. Well, he says it's hard to explain. He says, why don't I give you an example? So I said, fair enough. Why don't you do that? So the guy says, well, he says, let me ask you a question. He says, do you own a doghouse? So I go, yes, I do. He says, well, then that means you probably have a dog. I said, yes. He says, well, that means you're likely you have a family if you have a dog. I said, yes, I do. He said, well, then that means you got kids, you're married. I said, yes, I am. He says, well, then you're a heterosexual man. I said, yes, sir, I am. He says, well, you see, that's logic there. asked if simply from finding out you had a doghouse, I made this series of inferences, and I found that you're a heterosexual man simply from the fact that you had a doghouse. Well, I said, good God, isn't that something?
Okay.
So I said, well, I won't waste any more of your time there, neighbor. And I said, I'll see you later.
See you around. Okay.
So I said, come by one day and have a chicken with me. So anyways, I left. So I go to get a bus, you know, to the bus stop. And I walk down to the bus stop, and I'm still thinking about this thing that happened to me, you know. And I'm standing at the bus, and no bus coming at all, you know, and 5 or 6 of us standing around, and one guy lights up a cigarette there, and he goes, as soon as you light up a cigarette, the bus comes. And he smokes the whole damn cigarette, no bus comes.
Right.
So I said to the guy, well, that theory really worked, huh? And the guy goes, well, sometimes it works. Anyways, the guy goes, what's new with you? I go, well, I had an interesting thing happen to me today. I said, I met my neighbor. And he goes, oh, yeah? I go, he had a hell of an interesting job. I said, he's a professor of logic down at the University of
Science.
And so the guy says, is that so? He says, professor of logic. He goes, what the hell is that, logic? I said, well, it's a series of Scylla something or other.
Right.
I said, I can't remember exactly, but I said, I'll give you an example if you want to hear an example. So the guy goes, all right, fair enough. So I said, let me ask you this. I said, let me ask you a question. Do you own a doghouse? And the guy goes, no, I don't own a doghouse. So the guy says, oh, yeah, you're one of them gays.
And it worked, right? What great stuff you can learn at that
nice.
University of Science there.
And then the guy, get this. Get this.
There's more.
This gay guy invites me to have a chicken at his place.
That's some kind of euphemism. Watch out.
Interesting story, I say, this week is that right on Rikers Island, they banned like 2 months ago. They banned pornography, any porno magazines from the prison, you know, because I don't know why they did it, but now I just read the headline.
Sure, you don't need to know that part, right? Who cares about that part, right?
But now they had to bring it back this week, so they had a compromise. They're allowing one porno magazine.
Only one?
Only one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the porno magazine that they're putting in is Hairy Guy's Ass Illustrated.
Really? Yeah. Well, if you're going to only allow one, I would think that's the one, you know, probably.
It's a good magazine, though.
It is a good, you know...
It's not all just pictures of Hairy Guy's ass.
The articles are good, actually. Yeah. Good articles on if you're buying a home, what home to buy, good areas to look.
Good stereo advice. That's what I read.
Yeah. Killer crossword puzzle. It's just a good publication. All right.
See, I just read it for Hairy Guy's ass.
Well, see, that's you, Andy. Just people are all different.
He was telling me before the show that last week he went to the Hairy Guy's Ass mansion.
Great. Why didn't you... Andy has all the fun. He gets to all the big celebrity parties.
Right. Him and Jimmy Kahn.
All right. So you think Dole is what?
I don't know.
You don't care anymore.
I do like that he picked Kemp. I like Kemp.
Oh, yeah?
He had a strange thing. Did you hear that quote he said? He said he's closer to minorities than the other candidates because he says he showered with a lot of black guys. Did you hear that?
What?
He says because he used to be on the Buffalo Bills.
That's right, he was a football player. Is that true? He said that?
Yeah, he said that the other day. He said he has a closer feel for the minorities because he's showered with so many black guys. But, you know, I don't know if that's how you want to pick your presidents, right? Showered with a lot of black guys?
I don't know.
I mean...
You're picking Dole because he can do an impression.
Yeah,
you know, your reasons aren't much better.
If I was going to pick a guy just because he showered with a lot of black guys, I'd pick Andy or something like that, you know?
People don't have to know that.
No, he used to play ball. He used to play college ball.
Sure, he was. Yeah, in every branch of the armed forces.
Do you have a hero?
Norman Fell from Three's Company.
That's your hero?
Yeah. Mr. Roper. Yeah.
No, Mr. Roper?
Yeah.
That's not a good hero.
That's all I got.
Better than this guy's hero is some gay porn actor. Anyway.
What are you talking about? What?
I don't know.
Insane.
No.
What are you saying?
Let me tell you something about gay porn.
What's...
Seriously.
It's fine.
That was a long one. Okay. No, I'll tell you something about gay porn. Seriously.
Okay.
That doesn't mean a guy's gay. I'm not saying that. Because a guy watches gay porn all the time.
Cut to a single. Just of Norm, really?
Gay porn. I enjoy gay porn. I'm not gay. Gay porn is a genre that just cuts across all demographics. You know? Young people, old people, straight people, the gay people enjoy it. Everybody likes gay porn. But this guy really likes it. No, I don't know. I'm sorry.
I heard patriotic music playing behind that speech.
No, that's not what I meant to say. I meant to talk about Bob Dole. This guy's my hero.
First ruined my reputation, you know.
I'll
Just
tell you
in
something.
passing.
This guy is not gay. If anybody's not gay, it's this guy.
Oh, I'm so...
Seriously.
I am so totally straight. Oh, yeah.
No, you are.
I love the ladies.
No, he does. No, he likes girls. He likes girls.
Does this happen every time you try and talk about Bob Dole? You start talking about gay porn.
I know, I don't know what that was. But listen, the Bob Dole, I love this guy. He's my hero. He's always been my hero for like the last 18 years since I was very young. And I always liked Bob Dole. And so it was an honor to... Now it sounds weird because I was talking about gay porn. But
I'm questioning your ability to continue here.
before I start with my jokes, I just want to say, like, I said a thing on last show about Andy enjoying gay porn.
Right, I remember you saying that.
And I thought later, that was just a stupid thing to do.
Well, I guess it was all forgotten until you just brought it up.
So, he doesn't like gay porn, you know? He doesn't like gay porn. So anyway.
I can't stand gay porn.
Right.
Gay porn, no thanks. So if you're getting me a birthday present, no gay porn. I'm glad you know, that's great because it really cleared the air.
Yeah.
I understand you Lent. You take Lent pretty seriously, the Catholic holiday of Lent. Is that the case?
Well, you have to give up stuff on Lent. So every year on Lent, I give up stuff. And I made up a list, you know?
Oh, really?
Of stuff that I gave up. So I have it here in my pocket. Can I read it?
I would love to hear what Norm gave up for Lent. Yeah, why
I don't have it in my pocket.
not? You don't have it?
Oh, here it is. It's in this pocket. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yes, this is a list of things that I gave up for Lent. Okay, you ready? I gave up powerlifting.
All right, out.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that anymore. And then I gave up lifting of any kind.
Okay, that's good.
And then I gave up dressing up like an incubus. Now that people know what it is, you know.
Not going to do that.
No. And then I gave up. This isn't a good one. I gave up feeding my cat.
You got to break that habit.
Yeah, that's not good.
Lent's a good time to do that.
So that's. Oh, and then I gave up spending thousands of dollars trying to methodically seduce Andy's wife.
No more of that, huh? All right, that's very nice. Good for you.
What a relief. Plus, it gets in the idea that Andy has a wife.
Andy has a wife.
Oh, he does, I know.
I have a wife.
I know.
And
no, he has a great wife.
I don't like it.
No, he has an excellent wife.
Don't like it. Well, okay. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're all going to confer with our lawyers. And then we're going to come back, and we'll have more with Norm MacDonald in just a second. We'll see. All right, we're back, everybody. Stop comparing notes on gay porn, all right?
No. We were actually talking about the Sports Illustrated, the swimsuit issue.
Oh, yeah. You guys like that issue.
No,
yeah.
I love it. Andy
It's
said,
fun to play
Andy
this
said it's
game.
his least favorite Sports Illustrated.
Oh, shut up.
He says he can't.
Never mind. I'm going to say something.
Andy, you don't. It's like quicksand. If you struggle, it gets worse.
I know.
You just gotta sit very still, and it'll go
say
away.
something bad.
You're in Los Angeles now, okay, and you're doing this show. Do you like the L.A.? You like it there?
I don't like it that much. No.
Why? Why don't you like it there? It's beautiful, and I think you'd. No.
Well, it's hot. It's really hot. And is that what you're getting to?
I don't know. I thought you had a story about being in L.A. You want to talk about midgets some more?
Just whisper the story in my ear.
You said you were carrying bags of groceries?
Yes, exactly. That's the story. But it started off with it was hot in L.A. And this is a bad, lame story. But...
So let me get this right. You can't remember it. We just revealed that we talked about it in the hallway beforehand, and now you're telling people it sucks. You want to go for it?
Yeah, I'll tell it. No. Yeah, it's not... It's not that.
I want to see him do it now.
Okay. So this
We've
is
set up a lot.
You're going to make me cry. I believe this is all spontaneous.
Sorry, Junior. You don't like L.A. because it's hot.
I was talking to Andy before the show, and apparently I made a mistake one time in the show where I intimated that maybe Andy was into gay porno. You remember that?
I didn't, but now I do, yeah.
Which he was not, which he's not into, and I never meant to intimate that he was gay in any way.
Right.
Just that he had an obsession with watching gay porno.
Okay.
There is a difference.
Everybody loves gay porno.
Right.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
So anyway,
baseball.
so I said I'm sorry. He said, I said I'm sorry about that.
Right.
And I said I would never mention again his alleged obsession with gay porno.
Right.
And I won't. But anyway.
We're gonna run that on a loop. Play it over and over again.
Well, he's got a wife.
Yeah, I know. What are you talking about? I know that.
Have you ever met her?
Yes.
Okay, good.
What are you talking about?
She does exist.
She does
I know
exist.
She exists. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to tell the people. I don't want them to think that Andy's into gay. And there's nothing wrong with being gay. Unless you're not gay, and then there's something horribly wrong with it.
That's when it goes awry?
Yeah, that's when it's the worst thing you could be is gay when you're not gay.
Right.
Hey, I'm going to miss Andy on this show, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to leave, huh? How bad is that, huh?
Yeah.
He should stay. You want him to stay. You should stay.
Good move.
You should stay.
Get him booing.
Yeah, you killed everyone's joy tonight.
No, I swear to God, though, when you sit on a couch for the living, you should think about not giving that up. That's a great job. You sit on a couch, and you sit on a chair.
It got to be too much, though. I'm looking to lay down.
I've got to tone it down a bit.
No, but you're a great man, and I'm going to miss you on the show, man. You're a great man, isn't he?
Thank you.
Great.
Maybe he'll change his mind.
Maybe.
I keep asking him.
Yeah.
He's like, nope.
Maybe if the internet, they start like writing "Save Andy," you know what I mean? It's not save him because he's leaving.
His choice. Yeah. That's the hard thing.
Straight to the heart. I went a long time acting like I was broken apart by you.
He's good, man.
That's a can-do, Norm. You came charging out like
Yeah,
that.
because Peter, look at this audience, man. They don't care about that. Why? They like jokes.
The Swedes are with you.
They got flags. They got flags.
Yeah, they got flags and they're scoring you. You've got 3 9s and an 8 so far.
Wow.
For your
Where
entrance.
are you guys from, man? Oh, sweet. That's Sweden?
Yeah.
God bless you, man. Everything's good about, you're an Irishman. Me mother, she was orange. Me father, he was green. It was the biggest mix-up that you have ever seen. I'm Scottish. I'm I'm a Scot. You're Irish.
Yes.
What are you?
Swedish German.
Swedish German. Are you really?
Yeah, really. Why would I lie about that? It's not funny.
It's very odd 'cause
It's a very strange lie. I put one over on those people. Yeah.
Swedish German.
No, I'll tell you why it's funny, man, because I was in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
I met a good old boy down there, and he said, he said, you know Andy Richter?
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
You met a guy in Georgia, and he said, "You know Andy Richter?"
Oh yeah, you guys do well there.
Oh.
And he said, I said, yeah. He said, have you ever heard of Andy Richter joke? I said, no. He said, well, most of it's based on him being Swedish German. And then he told me an Andy Richter joke. And
Really?
But I didn't know he was Swedish German. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah. Well, now this lines up perfectly. Let me ask you something, because it sort of relates to the first.
Wait, don't you want to hear the joke?
No. All right. Oh, you're down to 6. You're down to 6. All right, this joke will get you back up.
You can get him back.
Let's hear the joke.
Well, the fellow says, he says, you ever hear the time about the old prospector? That's how he talks, you know?
Yeah.
He says, man, there was an old prospector, and he was prospecting for gold, and he was having a hell of a time getting any gold. It was an empty stake, I believe. And he said he'd come into town one day. He'd been in the mine for a good 8 months. He said, by God, he said, I'm only flesh and blood. Sure. You know? And I need a woman, you know. And so he goes into town. He goes up to the bartender. He says, bartender, he says, man, I've been in that mine for a hell of a long time, and I'm only flesh and blood. I need a woman. Well, the bartender says, hell, there ain't no women in this town. If you want to do any of that business, all we got is Andy Richter, the Swedish German. The prospector, he says, no, he says, hell, I ain't into that funny stuff, you know. He says, I'll be fine. So he goes back to his state, you know, and he's back in that mine, man, and 6 months passes, and a year passes, and Conan, you know, people are weak. Man is made of flesh and pride, as the scriptures tell us, and by God, that old prospector finally broke to his knees, and he said, I'm no worse than he went back to the bar. He was a beaten man. He says to the bartender, he says, hell, man, I've been in that place 2.5 years. A man has needs, and if you say there's no women in this here town, he says, well, I'll have to go for Andy Richter, the Swedish German. But he says, listen now, he says, man, I'm a tough old hombre, you know, and I got friends now. He says, I don't want anybody to know about this. You know, this is back in the old days.
Sure, yeah.
He says,
I can tell by the accent, yeah.
He says, I got my cowpoke friends and so forth. I'd hate to hell anybody know about this, you know. This got to be all secret. Nobody. I say, nobody can know about this. Bartender says, well, 4 people will know about it. How do you figure that? He says, well, he says, I don't know about it. He says, you'll know about it. Andy Richter, the Swedish German, will know about it. And the fella that has to hold down Andy will know about it.
Why?
Why? Because Andy Richter, the Swedish German, he don't go for that funny business neither.
Well, at least you left me my dignity.
Yeah.
I like the way that story ended.
Yeah,
that was a nice.
You weren't dead.
Right. Yeah. Well, but that's not beside the point.
You were raped.
No, it's more. It's more that I wasn't prostituting myself.
We'll take a break. We'll be right back right after this with the Norm MacDonald.
You're taking a break?
What? We take breaks. The mics are off. Don't worry.
Wait, is this King of the Road?
Well, that's French. Ring, die, die. I could sing this song.
It's King of the Road.
Yeah. It's in another language. Okay, fade that out.
Are you really good at finding things quickly? get Roger Miller's King of the Road English version. I'm going to point out an incredible line in it.
All right. I like this. You know, I like taking songs that no one knows the meaning of them. And this first one, I don't know, you guys might go, yeah, Todd, everybody knows that. But I didn't know the Pina Colada song, what that meant.
Oh,
Do you
yes. I just played that on something because I got them to play the whole thing on that stupid man cow, and he still didn't understand. I'm like, listen to this song.
Can you, so for the, hey, look,
Wait, Todd, do you mean like you didn't understand the story?
I didn't understand
No, well, most people, you just hear the...
Do you like Pina Colada? That's all I heard.
They don't realize it's about adultery.
It's about a guy, but
it's
here's
the strangest adultery story ever.
But here's the part with that song that I always realized. This is if it did ever happen. So for the people that don't know, let me fill them in real quick. So basically, it's saying, a guy takes an ad out, and for the people that know, they're like, Todd.
First, he sees an ad in the paper,
and it
because
says,
he goes, me and my old lady. Things were getting kind of dull. It's like, huh? Called her his old lady.
Yeah, that's the problem. You call her the old lady. No respect at all. Hey, me and my old lady were having problems. Yeah, because you're a fucking idiot.
You want to take any responsibility for this at all?
No, it's my old lady.
So as she lays sleeping, he scours the personal ads.
Oh, God. Scouring.
Yeah.
And then
it's an ugly image.
Explain the song
and then
quickly.
he finds it one, and the text of it is, if you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. If you like something else, walking in the sand, whatever.
Yeah. It's enough. I get it.
Romantic things people like, then you're like me, So he goes, this is the lady for me, not this hag of a wife, not my old lady.
Hey, this is somebody that he really should be with.
Yeah, it's soulmate.
Sure. They should meet.
His soulmate. So then he goes, well, I'll put an ad in the paper. I don't know why. He could have just phoned the number, but he put an ad the next week that said, hey, I like pina colada. He answered her.
Right. Yeah. I like walks in the rain. And then basically what
it's more
it says
romantic
is
that way.
We decided to meet on O'Malley's. We would meet. And then it says, I saw her. And who was it? It was my
lovely
wife.
lady. Now she's a lovely lady.
Yeah. Yeah, he got nervous, didn't he, when he fucking saw her?
Now, it was my lovely lady, and she looked at me, and then their reaction is the funniest. They start laughing.
Yes, that's all what we just went through is worth that I wanted to talk about what you just said. Yes. Dude, think about what happened that night. Like, if that really did happen, well, basically you could say it's a love story about two people that realize the person you're meant to be with, you're with.
No, but he also says, he goes, and then I said, I didn't know you like pina coladas. How this escaped him for the fucking 30 years he's been with his old lady.
He never took a vacation near a bar.
Caught in the rain. Yeah.
So there's that. That explains that song. So did you find the other version that he was looking for?
Okay, so it's you can speed it. You can play it in about the middle. Trailer said, in all of their names in the town where he just showed up on a train.
That's not true, probably, right?
It's just
really
disturbing.
Like, I can understand he knows every engineer and where you can get a free meal, But all of a sudden,
every lady
he knows every child's name and where they live.
No.
So the police would go, were you in, were you in town last week? Like, a boy's body was found in a third boxcar 4 miles down.
What's his name?
He had to have been leaving a lot of child corpses along the way. When he knew their name, the names and where they lived, he knew where they lived.
O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stocking. The crowd is torn. Liza Minnelli has gotten word she'll have to have a hip replacement operation. This marks the first time in 15 years that the name Liza Minnelli and the word hip have been used in the same sentence. Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. And finally, the Oscar nominations were announced this week, and Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster are in a heated competition in the Academy's controversial new category, Best Retard. To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. That one you find troubling? New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings. Men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. This was Colin Ferguson's first week in prison. Ferguson has reportedly dismissed his cellmate, and from now on he will be acting as his own bitch. And finally, due to a change in policy, Amtrak employees will no longer be able to kick homeless people out of Penn Station based on the way they look. From now on, they will have to go solely on urine stench. This is our top story tonight this week in the O.J. Simpson trial. After grisly photos of the murdered Nicole Brown Simpson were shown in court, O.J. turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment that he realized he would never be able to kill her again. Actor Charlie Sheen is reportedly engaged to model Donna Peel. Friends of Sheen say they knew Sheen was serious when he took Donna home to meet the hookers. Meanwhile, Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry attended the march and called it a beautiful display of unity and solidarity among African Americans. His only complaint, the complete absence of crack. In publishing news, Magic Johnson has received a $5 million advance from Random House for his new book entitled What You Can Do to Avoid AIDS. Chapter 1, Don't Have Sex with Me. Officials at the Philadelphia Zoo report they have actually been able to preserve sperm from an endangered one-horned rhinoceros. The sperm will remain frozen at the zoo until Michael Jackson comes by with a check and picks it up. "47-year-old Adrienne Brown, wife of soul legend James Brown, died suddenly last week. Most shocking of all, she was not killed by James Brown. Finally, some good news. According to her doctor, legendary actress Katharine Hepburn is recovering nicely from her recent illness, and they have even upgraded her condition to decrepit. So that's a nice... That's nice. Well, you don't like her? You don't like Katharine Hepburn, for God's sake? As Baltimore and Cleveland met this week in divisional playoff action, the big story in baseball continues to be Orioles second baseman Roberto Alomar. Under a dark cloud. Yes, none of us like him. Well, according to a new Entertainment Weekly poll, 72% of their readers say they would not be offended if a TV show lead character were gay. Though that figure shrinks to 1% when these same readers are reminded that being gay can involve anal sex. This weekend, veteran news anchorman David Brinkley apologized to Bill Clinton for an election night commentary in which he called the president, quote, boring and uncreative. Admitted Brinkley, there was certainly nothing uncreative about the way you moved Vince Foster's body. President's a murderer. You didn't know that? O.J. Simpson was in a different courtroom this week, attempting to regain custody of his 2 children. In order to prove to the court how much he loves his kids, O.J. pointed out, quote, hey, they're still alive, aren't they? According to O.J. Simpson's niece, Terry Baker, when O.J.'s mother, Eunice Simpson, first heard about the slaying of Nicole Brown, she exclaimed, he did it. Reached for comment, O.J. said, my mom was just guessing. I hadn't even told her yet. In South Dakota, inmates at the state penitentiary say that a new policy which allows officials to read their mail is an example of the routine violations of individual rights in prison. A better example would be the daily anal rapes, but I guess they want to start off small and then work up to the daily anal rapes. You know, they'll start off with the reading their mail, you know. Yesterday, the House Budget Committee approved an outline of the deal between President Clinton and congressional leaders to balance the budget. But both sides caution it is not set in stone. In order to become official, of course, it must still be approved by this Chinese guy here. He's got a... Boo, what the hell? Safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do. No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. That Madonna's baby thing.
Oh, yeah.
Funny.
Oh,
you know, it's, I really have to give it to that guy that's the father, you know, Carlos...
Leon.
Carlos Leon?
Or Carlos Leon, I forget which one.
Because you got to have a lot of guts. That means he had sex with Madonna without a condom. Right? That's great. Michael Jackson. He said, I heard a quote where he said, he said, I don't care if my child is a boy or a girl, as long as it's a boy. He's going to name it. He said he doesn't know what he's going to name it. He said he thinks if it's a girl, he's going to name it Sharon.
Really?
Yeah. And if it's a boy, he's going to have sex with it. I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So, yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. People often say to me, you know who the real heroes are? I go, are they the real heroes? They go, no. I go, oh, they're the teachers. It's counterintuitive that it doesn't seem like a heroic job, but yes.
First of all, if you're a teacher, you get the same vacations as a child. You get, like 4 months a year off. My vacation, I get almost no time off. We're 48 weeks a year. So 4 weeks a year I get off. What about you? You're not one of those fucking teachers, right? Seems like a teacher. Now, are you a teacher? What do you teach? What grade? High school. What grade? What grade? No, but what grade? Not so easy when it's the other way around. It's always easy to ask the questions. The real heroes are the fucking students. I actually have to answer the question. Now, what grade do you teach? 9 through 12. So you need a grade 13 education. You're the real hero. No, you're the real hero. No, I'm just kidding. You're the real hero. Her husband says, you're not the real hero. Shut the fuck up.
I've been searching for what's missing, but the answer.
This is what's problem with our society, though.
What is it?
When they go, hey, the hardest job in the world is being a mom.
It is
Or the
pretty
hardest
hard.
job in the world is being a teacher.
It's hard jobs.
No, it's not.
They're hard jobs.
My mom was a teacher. Let me
She
tell
had
you
the two
something.
hardest jobs. I think
She had the
cooking is a
easiest
harder
job.
job.
The teacher is probably the easiest job on the planet.
Why?
Let me
How can
explain
you
why.
say that?
First of all, my mother and my father were both teachers. They got all the you get all the vacations that children do. You're
Mhm.
always off. You have the entire summer. You have 2 weeks Christmas, 2 weeks Easter. You work in an atmosphere where it's just you and children.
With young, stupid, with short, stupid people.
Yeah.
They don't know much. You're brilliant.
Yeah.
You don't have to learn anything.
They're all frightened of you. You can say anything you want.
You never take a test.
See, I don't know if you've ever
That's
gone.
true.
I go now. When I was a kid, I thought my teachers were so smart. Now I have a kid. I meet these teachers. They're not smart at all.
How can you say that?
Because it's true.
They're just like regular goofy people.
Well, that's,
And they
that's
have
what
the
you realize.
and they have the only. My kid's teacher went crazy, and they could not fire her because of.
Because the job's so hard, the kids made her crazy.
Yeah, but she has whatever you call it, tenure. They don't have that in any other job.
No, I know.
They have a union that has a stranglehold on.
They got to fire you before your tenure starts.
Yeah.
That's one of the
They got to
things.
fire you from the easiest job ever.
Your babysitter's funny.
Those are heroes. Those are also the heroes. They're like the real heroes are the moms and the teachers.
Well, they are.
Not the guys on Iwo Jima planting the flag.
Okay, they were heroes too.
Not the firemen that run into buildings. No.
No one's denying that
It's a
those
teacher.
people are heroic.
It's a person that
A
shows
good-
up at a school
a
and is the
good
tallest person in the
teacher.
class.
Oh my God. Wow.
That's a good
I'm
one. You
telling
got
you, my mom and dad were both teachers. It's the simplest job in the world. When I was a kid, I thought everyone got that much vacation. I was like shocked to learn that I thought everyone had the summer off. I thought everyone had 3 weeks off for Christmas.
Well, when you're doing your own sitcom, surely you have 6 months a year off. I mean, that has to be teacher-esque.
Exactly. It's teacher-esque.
Don't they say that having a sitcom is about the closest you can get?
That's about the hardest job in the world.
No, shut up.
Yeah, those are
That's
the real
easy
heroes.
fun. Oh my God, you're making the people laugh. Lindsay, you're on the air.
Hey, Norm.
Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, I teach 5th grade.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's hard. I mean,
805 says, rude. I'm a 2nd grade teacher and I hate you. Rude.
That sounds like a second grade teacher.
No, Jimmy, that was just rude. Can you think of another way to say that?
To be a second grade teacher, you just have to be smarter than a second grade student. That's about the only thing you have to be.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, basically you need third grade intelligence.
Please welcome Norm MacDonald.
We looked at it earlier.
You did?
He actually shaved it. It's not even a bald spot.
Oh my God.
Norm MacDonald, nice to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Your fans are out in force.
Yeah, they're good people, right?
They're good, fine people. How you doing with the new season? Are they driving you nuts? Or they changed the name? They got
Yeah, they changed the name from the Norm Show to Norm.
yeah, that testing and research and everything.
It's like For the Love of the Game. You know that movie? They changed that
What'd they change that to?
For Love of Game or something.
And that was it. And they thought that was gonna work.
Yeah, they decided to take. They thought those like slowed things down.
Yeah. Well, the remote controls that people have to flip around. You know how it goes. Are you enjoying the high life now, being the big network star and zooming around, getting the free beers at places, that sort of thing?
Hey, they give you free beers?
Don't they? They don't give you the free beers?
They gave you. I actually went to this bar where they give you those. You ever have them shooters?
Sure.
Yeah.
The little, they're almost, they look like little beers.
Yeah, no. They're little tiny drinks like that, and they have sex names, like dirty sex names. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh, right. Like
sex on the beach, or you know,
or
blow thing.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
They give you those free?
Yeah, I don't know. That was an old bit I used to do in my stand-up, and I was going to do it, and then I just abandoned it.
You bailed out? You're like, we don't want to get into the beer thing. We're not going to go that direction. You know, our show's up in Canada now. We're up in your, do you think they could use a little bit of our humor? Yeah, we just got into what is it called? Saskatchewan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Well, you don't care. You fled that country.
No,
you don't
it
even
seems
care
like
anymore.
if you're already on in the United States, that's the only thing that counts.
No. This has always been to get to Canada for us. Yeah, always. We've never... Everybody's on in America.
Yeah.
But only Wayne and Schuster dominate Canada. We're gonna...
How do you know that?
I had a tape once.
Yeah,
That was
Wayne
really
and
it. No, I was up late one night. You know, in Canada, they show naked movies for free on TV.
Oh, yeah.
You flip around in it.
Absolutely.
Did you hear a deep voice over there say, yes?
Yeah, yes. Insertion, too?
Is that... You know what? I didn't hear the parenthetical comment, but is that where it went? But that's a nice treat.
What? Oh, naked, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I noticed? I was in
What's that?
You know where you go into the hotels and you get your SpectraVision with the pornos on it?
Yeah.
The pornos in the SpectraVision are not hard. They're pornos, but they cut out like insertion shots. They cut out. You know what I mean? They cut out vaginas and penises.
That sort of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So they don't show that part, and I'm wondering, like, who is offended by that? Like, you know what I mean? Is somebody whacking after a porno phone down? What the hell's going on here? This is unbelievable. It's offensive here. I'm trying to whack off, and there's a this insertion here, you know? Right?
I don't know whatever you're talking about. The only thing I've noticed about those movies, quite honestly, billing is immediate.
That's right.
Because you try, and if you're like me, you're a film connoisseur, you like to check out the different plots. And but if you just watch a couple of minutes, just enough to see that it's going to be nurses, or whatever it is, it shows up on your bill that you watched like 15 of them. If you, I mean, from what...
I got you.
Yeah.
One time, I was watching one of those. I was whacking.
Yeah.
So I'm whacking off watching it, and all of a sudden, Bruce Baum is on it. You know that comedian? He's a comedian that's like a friend of mine, right? And so he shows up, like, because he's the comic part of it, like they're showing some sex. All of a sudden, he comes in, and right at the time when I was, you know, finishing off.
Yeah.
So now I don't want to call up Bruce Baum anymore.
When this airs, we're going to make sure we get a picture of Bruce Baum, the Flash.
He's a great man. He's a funny man.
He's a great man, but you need to see the visual to understand Norm's pain. Thank you very much for coming by. As always, the funniest man I know.
Yeah, this is
Norm
the greatest.
MacDonald. Norm airs on Wednesday nights on ABC. Norm MacDonald.
Welcome back to the program. My guest tonight, a very funny comedian and actor, is on Saturday Night Live for many years. His new show is Fox's A Minute with Stan Hooper. Please welcome Norm MacDonald.
Hello! Hey, Johnny. That clip didn't seem that entertaining.
That's not the whole show, is it?
That's the best part.
You picked that out especially for
I
us?
miss you, Johnny.
I miss you. TV is better in my mind.
Congratulations.
Stop it.
On
TV
your
is better.
Academy Award.
Don't even talk about it. Just wait.
Ah, you won an Emmy.
Wait till the releases come out. We're going to be top notch. By the way, you are the first guest to sit in our new couch. Talk to me about.
This is some couch, I'll tell you that, man.
What do you think?
I'd it. That's the highest compliment you can pay a couch.
It is a high compliment. It's just that we have a minivan of nuns. That is. Have you ever felt a couch that you felt that way before this couch?
No, this is the first one, man. I'm a normal fella, you know.
Do you think it's the ultra suede?
It may be the. It has a alluring come hither look.
It has a bit of a nice slant to it, I believe.
It's a goddamn whore. Let's be honest. No, it's a nice couch. It's a nice couch. I don't mean to disparage the couch.
TV is better when Norm MacDonald is on it. That is my postulation. That is my theory. That is my. This whole interview will be applause breaks back and forth. And you know what?
What's that?
America is a great country.
America is the best country in the world.
Norm MacDonald got more applause than America.
I know you say that with irony, but you know I'm from Canada.
Where?
Canada.
Show me where that is. I've heard tale of it. But you've been living here for years.
Yeah, and America is the greatest country in the world, and Canada, 35.
You can't say that. You have to go. You have family there. They'll see you at
my family's
at
fine.
Boxing Day or whatever do they have holidays?
They do have Boxing Day. How do you know about that? Now you should explain it. They're going to think that has something to do with the pugilism, but it is actually not.
Boxing Day is nothing to do with pugilism. It's a day in Canada where all the small children.
What's pugilism mean?
That'd be the art
boxing,
of the sweet science,
sorry, you're right,
as it were.
Science. Yeah.
Boxing Day in Canada is all the children are put in boxes and set out on Lake Huron.
Yes, that's right.
And whoever doesn't sink
is not a witch.
Is not a witch. And is the next prime minister, I think.
I think that's right.
I think that is correct.
Yeah.
But now you live in Los Angeles, the lap
Parliamentary
of...
system. Yes, I do. The lap of fire.
Oh yeah, are you anywhere near? Is that anywhere near?
No, that's the one bright spot in the whole thing is that I'm in no danger at all.
You know, they haven't covered that on the news as much as not a lot of Norm MacDonald updates.
I saw this was an interesting thing I saw. You know they have that little scroll that goes under CNN? I'm watching it the other day. Baghdad's getting bombed, right?
Right.
And underneath on the scroll it says, Daniel Kellison to leave the Jimmy Kimmel Show. Isn't that backwards?
You think they should have been covering that in the regular news, and the little crawl should have been Baghdad is bombed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because since that crawl, remember, just started September 11th. We never had that.
They didn't have the crawl before that, no.
And now the crawl is because at that time there was so much information. You know, you'd be watching that thing, and then all of a sudden it'd say, "Watch out, duck!" and you go, "Ah!"
It was immediate.
Right, it was immediate.
Yeah.
Because there's so much information flowing, and now they just kept the crawl, and there's nothing to put on there. So you'll see things like, singer James Taylor set to wed, and you're like,
The favorite one that I've seen so far is it said it was another of those situations. They were announcing that Uday and Kusei had been killed in that giant raid, and underneath it said, Beyonce says she doesn't like the word bootylicious. And it was just such a great, but it's that same damn thing. I want you to put a ticker on your show. Will you put a ticker on the Stan Hooper show?
And I've never been on that scroll, and yet for years I've said I don't like that word bootylicious. But that doesn't make the news.
But CNN CNN is not covering Norm MacDonald to the extent people want.
I know, it's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. How you liking doing the program? Is it enjoyable for you? Is it fun to work? Do you prefer to gamble?
Why'd you have to bring that up?
Are you having fun doing it?
No, I love working. You know, I retired from show business. You know, and nobody noticed. So
I noticed.
So I realized that I had to get back into it so that I could become a big star, then retire from show business.
Thank you.
And then it would be a big star.
That's how Celine Dion does it.
That's right.
Then you go to Vegas and you open up your own Norm MacDonald Theater.
That's right, and you marry an old dude that blows all your money. That's my dream.
A fine dream it is, sir.
Certainly.
A Minute with Stan Hooper airs Wednesday nights at 8:30 on Fox. It's Norm MacDonald back on TV where he belongs! My guest tonight, one of my very favorite comedians, his new sketch comedy CD is called Norm MacDonald Ridiculous. Please welcome back to the program, Norm MacDonald. Norm! For God's sake. You feel the love?
What a crowd, what a crowd.
What? That's love.
Yeah,
pure.
That's right. I wasn't saying it with any irony.
No,
I think it's a good crowd.
Pure Norm MacDonald love. The CD is ridiculous, and this is a long-rumored project.
Yeah, it took me a long time to do it because it takes me a long time to do anything. I wanted to do a thing because when I was a kid, I listened to Cheech and Chong all the time. And so I wanted to do an album. It's very explicit. It's not for kids, but it is for the kids. So it's like tobacco guys, you know what I mean? They got to aim for the kids.
That's exactly right.
I always felt sorry for those guys because it's like, who the hell are they going to get a 50-year-old guy to start smoking?
They got me at 15.
Me too. I was 13.
I thought, if a camel can do it, who am I not to do it?
Remember that Joe Camel? I always laugh because they said, like, subliminally, it looks like a penis. You know what I mean? And when I looked at it, I couldn't even find a camel. It looks, you know what I mean? Subliminally, it was a camel.
So did you think for a long time, why is that penis smoking?
No, because I've seen smoking penises.
And for the kids out there, it is a terrible habit for your penis to pick up. And I would not recommend it in any way.
The audience concurs.
Yes. We've all seen the pictures of the inside of a penis that is smoked.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Well, that's what I love. You know, when we were kids, I loved the National Lampoon radio stuff. Nobody came up with CDs like that anymore. This is like the throwback.
Yeah, I didn't want to do a stand-up CD because the market is saturated.
You and your market speak.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about the crocodile hunter.
Did you?
Because I think
you're gonna make him sad.
Because I think, you know, it was tragic at the time, but I think I don't know, people call me, man, they're shocked. Oh, hey, you wouldn't believe it, who got killed? The crocodile hunter.
Please don't make me laugh at this.
This is not good
he
to
was
do.
44 years old. I'm like, that's a ripe old age for a crocodile hunter.
That's not.
And you know who had to be pissed about it were the crocodiles, because he got killed by some fruity fish. And so you know the crocodiles were like, hey man, that crocodile hunter got killed. Who did it, Frank? Nah, you don't even want to know, man.
Please don't do this anymore. This
Go, Bill, man, you had a chance once. The guy go, man, I had a chance. I had that mother. He was Tommy with a stick. I could have eaten him and his kid.
I don't feel good about this.
You remember I ever tell you that story, Bill? Yeah, only 1,000 times.
That's for the kids.
All right, Norm MacDonald, we're putting you in a new feature. There's a new feature on the program. Just unveiled it yesterday. You ready for it?
Sure.
It's a new thing called The Daily Show Seat of Heat. Roll the thing. You ready for it? You ready? Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice and Canadian Foreign Minister Peter MacKay. They met yesterday. Here's some of their repartee.
I slept so well, you know, the air is so great. Terrific air to sleep in.
She loves the cool Atlantic breezes here in Atlantic Canada. She left her window open last night.
All right, here's my question to you, Norm MacDonald. Are they f***ing? Take your time. Take your time.
Hot.
Mull it over.
It's hot. It's hot in here. Well, I am a Canadian, as you know. But I love America better. But I'm a Canadian, and I know this Peter MacKay character. I've known him for years.
Thought you'd have some insight.
If I was Condoleezza Rice, I wouldn't be too flattered, because that guy will f*** anything. I swear to God.
Norm MacDonald is off the hot seat.
Wait,
You're off.
wait, I want to say one thing.
One more thing.
One thing about, because this was a rumor, and I don't know if it's
There's a rumor they were together.
No, this was a rumor that long went around Canada about Peter MacKay years ago.
Let's hear it.
I don't know if it's true, it might be an urban myth, but they say one time on a dare, he f***ed a crocodile.
All right, that's it. Norm MacDonald, ridiculous. It's in the stores now. Welcome back. My guest tonight, one of our favorites, a very funny comedian. His upcoming show for Comedy Central is called Sports Show with Norm MacDonald. Please welcome back to the program, Norm MacDonald. Norm MacDonald! Come and sit down. That was the fastest walkout ever. That was speed. That was the fastest walkout I've ever had.
Yeah, well, who wants to see people walking, man? We got to do jokes. We're the greatest crowd, man. They're the greatest crowd I've ever seen.
How do you do that? Because
No, I do have to widen my circle of crowds. But how you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. I miss you. I was telling you this backstage. One of the few comics when I don't hear your comedic voice for all, I miss it. It's so funny and I'm so glad to see you coming back to TV.
Hey, listen, man. I like all your politics.
Thank you, Norm. I appreciate that. Now, you're Canadian. Your government has collapsed. It's completely collapsed.
It has?
It's completely collapsed.
Well, the good thing is it doesn't matter at all. This is why, because you're such a political guy, and I realized when I came here, because I was never political, and it's because you're from America and I'm from Canada, and in America you have a duty to be political. Because you vote for the wrong guy, he blows up the world. Right? Now, in Canada, here's our elections in Canada. Go, hey, listen, how does that guy stand on the bridge building? That's every time. One guy goes, I think we should build the bridge. The other guy says, I don't care for the bridge. So
it's all bridge-based politics.
We don't got they never gave us no red phone. You're president. I thought you were political.
No, I didn't realize we had a red phone.
You don't realize the president has a red phone?
But here's what it's come to be for in America.
And you're the most trusted man in America?
I'm not trusted. It seems like now, no matter who we vote for, no matter which guy we get, we still blow it out of the world. So, at a certain point, maybe we just like blowing stuff up.
Americans? Well, listen, if I was president, man, I'd get on that red phone right away and blow something up. But
what would you blow up first?
What would I blow up?
Yeah.
That stupid high school I went to for...
Empty building, of course.
But listen, man, I'll tell you this, though. With the streets of Libya running with blood...
Okay, I'll buy your premise.
Yeah. Listen, the Egyptians are so brave, you know, and the guys in Tripoli trying to take over, and Bahrain. Here's what I'm trying to get at. I'm from Canada. We got a queen. She lives in England, right? We're so we can't get. Seriously, I could get a bunch of buddies of mine. I swear to God, I could get 2 or 3 dozen buddies of mine. We could go over to Buckingham Palace takeover.
I would totally do that with you.
It's an old bag in a castle.
You know what is the most difficult part of that? Finding which room she's in. Do you have any idea? If you go attack her, there's like 130 rooms. We'd probably lose interest. Before we got to her.
Oh, I see what you mean, yeah. But you know, Gaddafi is surrounded by what is he surrounded by?
Bahrain. I'm guessing he's surrounded by like dancing girls. He's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, he's a nutbag.
No, he likes the ladies. That's what I heard.
Did you know he has a Ukrainian nurse who apparently
follows her everywhere. Yeah, pretends he's a nurse, but I've heard that maybe there's a little hanky-panky going on. Listen, I don't want to badmouth Gaddafi. I want to talk about Watson the computer.
Oh, let's talk about that. I'm happy to talk about that.
You know that character?
I love that guy. He was on Jeopardy. He crushed.
Yeah, he was on Jeopardy, and he crushed. You guys know Watson the computer?
Sure. Terrific.
Yeah. So, I watched it. It was cool. And the funny thing was, like, they were like, I wonder if, who's going to win? Watson the computer? Or that guy that works down at the hat store? And, first of all, I don't think he should be called Watson, because wasn't Watson the guy that didn't know Sherlock Holmes? He was the
helper. It should be Sherlock.
Yeah, Watson was like, hey, what about this? And then he'd go, elementary, my idiot friend. So he should have been called Sherlock. But anyways, you know.
No, it was a good aside.
So, so Watson naturally he's a computer.
Crushed him.
Yeah. Killed them, you know? And even his stories were better, you know what I mean? You notice that? Like when Alex Trebek would say the story, I go, Watson, I understand you have a story about jail, you know? And then Watson was like, yes, one time Oscar Wilde was in prison and George Bernard Shaw came to him and said, why, Oscar, what are you doing in there? To which Oscar Wilde quickly retorted, why, George Bernard, what are you doing out there? You know? And the guy next to him was like, God damn, I was going to tell my story about the hat. I gave the guy the wrong hat that time.
When does this show come on? When does the show come on the air? You gotta watch it whenever it's on. Sports show with Norm MacDonald premieres on Comedy Central Tuesday, April 12th at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Yes, you're on leading. Norm MacDonald.
I'm against cannibalism, you know. As you all know, as any of you know that follow me on the Google space, WW. I have gone across this country with my anti-cannibal stance, you know, talking to people from one side of this great nation to the other. Every year I put my toe in the Pacific and I travel this great land with my anti-cannibal message, you know? Mostly the young people. I try to educate the young people. You know, I go to the schools and I go, listen, Listen, you might think that you're going to be the cool guy because you eat a dude friend of yours, you know? And maybe you will for a couple of years, you know? Maybe you'll be the big man on campus. Oh, that's Jim. He ate a fella. But there's more to it than that. No, I use my time for you know what I do? I do a lot of charity work for things that people, I don't like arguing with people, you know, when they have another opinion than me. So what I do is I pick very popular opinions, and then I work for those people. And what I was going to say was that as a anti-cannibal guy, it would never occur to me to do the same thing as she does with her tofurkey. I would not take all my delicious cheese sandwiches and fashion them into the shape of some old rotting corpse of some dude and then eat that. That would make it less tasty than the cheese sandwich itself, to me. But listen, it's easy to go around saying, hey, I'm against cannibalism. Oh, I'm anti-cannibalism. Look at me. I'm better than everybody else, you know. I know it's easy to say because I say it every day to people. But actually, when you think about it, you don't really know how you're going to, you know, how your cannibalism beliefs are going to stand up under when it comes up. Because you'll notice in life, cannibalism rarely comes up. There's always some cheese sandwiches around you can find, you know. But what about when you're in the Andes? Well, then all bets are off. You have to wrestle with your conscience because you're in the Andes. I don't even know why people go to the Andes, but they do. They go, hey, listen, travel agent, me and the wife, Ruth, you know Ruth, we're going, we got to get away from the kids again this year. We got to go to Ireland. We were hoping something on the other side of the Andes. Anything you got there? We just want to relax, lay on a hammock or something, and we want to go to a nice place that is separated from where we are now by the Andes. And got any small planes? We like flying in small aerofoils. In the dead of winter. You got anything like that? And they're like, yeah. So you get on the plane, and, you know, 20 minutes later, you crash into a mountain. You know, because everyone knows it's on the boarding pass. It says, layover, a mountain. So you crash into the mountain. And then, you know, you gotta wrestle with your conscience, you know, because, you know, you're down there and the guy in 24E is looking pretty delicious. And so days turn into weeks, and weeks turn into months. Months, you know how time works, right? I don't have to explain everything. Then becomes now. So and then you have to wrestle with your conscience because you're like, my conscience. And your conscience is very, you know, if you don't want to wrestle with your conscience because, you know. So, although it's not as hard as wrestling with an actual wrestler, I find. If you have your choice between wrestling with your conscience and wrestling with a professionally trained wrestler, I'd take the conscience because it doesn't even have arms. And for wrestling, like the headlock is the biggest move. If you don't have arms. So anyways, you're wrestling with your conscience and you're like, oh man, should I eat that guy in 24E? I don't know.
It looks pretty good, but I don't think it's right and all this stuff. And then time goes on, and you get, and instead of just acting right away, which would probably be the smarter thing, you know, you wait way too long, and months pass, and then you go crazy, and then you go after Frank, that's his name, in 24E, and you're just, you're so hungry now, you're tearing into him, you're like, Frank, blood all over you and everything, you know? Anyways. And that's the last, and this is what you don't want to happen at that point, is for the rescue plane to come over at that very moment, you know? Well, you're like, what the? They're like, we have hamburgers and hot dogs here on the plane, and delicious cheese sandwiches, everything you want here. You're like, what? A lot of snow.
And Albert Fish was born on this day in New York City in 1870.
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
What?
Who the fuck is Albert Fish?
Oh, Albert Fish?
I've never heard of that guy.
He was known as the Gray Man.
The Grain Man?
The Gray
the
Man.
Grain.
The werewolf of Wisteria.
You
know why he was known as the Gray Man? Because he was a serial killer. He slayed children and ate them. He's a cannibal. But when the police asked a woman to describe him, and she said he was gray in both appearances and demeanor. Very bad description.
This is like Arsenio when it was woo.
Yeah, woo.
But
But anyways.
I'm pretending I know who Albert Gray is. I didn't.
No, Albert Fish.
Oh.
You're a New Yorker. So anyways, he was a child rapist and cannibal, as I explained.
When he says child rapist, you try not to laugh when he looks at you.
Oh, come on, man. It's not funny.
I know it's not. But I know you want people to laugh.
But Fish boasted that he had children in every state. Now, I would not boast about that. I don't think you would. I don't think you'd do it. But if you did do it, you certainly wouldn't boast about it. You'd take that to the grave with you. But he boasted.
Well, they say they eventually all sing like a canary.
They do say that?
About murderers, right?
Yeah,
they brag to a friend. When Norm bragged, sorry.
But Fish, this is interesting. Fish chose his victims. He only chose victims who were either mentally handicapped. Now, don't laugh at this next part, please.
You know he wants you to, right?
No. If you laugh at this next part.
Okay. And I'm not
Fish chose victims who were either mentally handicapped or African American. Oh, come on. Why would you think that's funny? God damn, Fred. Jesus Christ, that was the worst part of the story. Okay. But why do you think he did that? What would be the explanation? Why would he only attack? Why would his victims that he chose only be either mentally handicapped or African Americans?
Because people in those days didn't care when those people were vanished.
You're thinking like Albert Fish now.
And prostitutes. That's why they
That's right.
Prostitutes.
Exactly. Nobody really cares about prostitutes.
Well, it's like that comedian that would rape people at comedy club. No, in colleges.
Yes, Vince Champ.
They always said his great gimmick was that people would think who did it, and they never, because he'd go on to another town and another college. But when people say, "What about the comic?"
Yeah, maybe the worst gimmick a comic ever had. But anyways, but you were exactly right. That's why Albert Fish killed only mentally handicapped and African Americans.
What about, okay.
I thought you'd laugh at African Americans again, that they were.
No, because I know him. I know he'll do something. That's outrageous.
Well, it's kind of outrageous for you. But anyways, Fish tortured, mutilated, and murdered the youngsters. They were children. With a meat cleaver, a butcher knife, and a small hand saw.
Oh, Jesus.
God, you're...
This is the topical portion?
Yeah.
This is the birthday.
And he solidified his reputation as the most vicious child slayer in criminal history.
Oh,
Though
you know who
barely literate, Fish wrote taunting letters to the parents of his victims, gruesomely detailing how he slayed, butchered, cooked, and then with great enjoyment dined on their offspring. He would inevitably declare that a child's roasted rump was the most toothsome dish in all of gastronomy. Additionally, Fish was a masochist, get this, and he would insert wool doused with lighter fluid into his own anus and set it alight for his own enjoyment. Fish was finally arrested, and he immediately began confessing to killing 700 children.
Get out of here.
Yes, and he was dizzyingly happy about it. Smiled as he described the grisly details of the tortures and the murders, appearing to the detectives, and one of the detectives said he appeared as the devil himself. I mean, this guy was a real jerk.
Now I know there was no Albert Fish.
I'll do a bad joke first, though. If Earth hasn't been visited by
Every other guest has done this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Earth hasn't been visited by super intelligent aliens, then who made all those inexplicable, perfectly strong... Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then...
I was once trapped on a desert island, and to be honest, the 5 albums I brought didn't help a goddamn thing.
We write jokes. Right. So, would you like to read one?
Yeah.
That's for you.
I'll play along.
A little louder.
This one, I don't know in this era. They announced there's going to be another Twilight movie, and the little girl inside of me is really excited.
Well, John has a reputation for being a bit of a swinger. Did you know instead of an umbilical cord, John was born with a bungee cord? This is a saying I made up. There are a lot of ships that are very valuable, right? Like you probably think a golden ship was valuable, right?
This was already a terrible saying. This is
ship made only of diamonds. I don't know if it would float. I don't know. But you know, you would think that would be your most valuable ship. But you know what, sir? It is not. You know what your most valuable ship is?
What is that?
Friendship. And Cloris Leachman is here. Cloris? Cloris, if people say you're over the hill, don't believe them. Why, you'll never be over the hill, not in the car you drive.
Started collecting owl pellets, and for anyone who doesn't know, when an owl eats a field mouse or a rodent, it eats it, digests all of the edible parts, and then regurgitates a pellet, which is like all the bones, all the undigestible matter. And I collect those and harvest the bones, and then make magical creatures out of them.
Well, that's fine with me about that owl. I don't give a hoot. Greg Giraldo is here. He has the grace of a swan, the wisdom of an owl, and the eye of an eagle. Ladies and gentlemen, this man is for the birds. Susie Essman, of course, is famous for being a vegetarian. Hey, she may be a vegetarian, but she's still full of baloney in my book. Hey, listen, I may not have book smarts, but you know what I have? Supermarket flyer smarts. You know where I got them? From reading a lot of supermarket flyers.
That can't be one of the jokes, is it?
Jesus.
Dude.
Did you ever think...
I smell a mass firing.
When you go to the men's room later, you'll see a sign that says, "Gentlemen, pay no heed, go right in." There's no room that says "scoundrel" on it. I made a bad business decision, Adam Egan. Started an online business. You know what I sold? Brick and mortar.
That's pretty good. I like you gave something, too.
I gave a little bit.
Is this going to go down as a test show?
No.
You better fucking air it.
Listen, I ever think that I wanted to... Rushing to the words. Yes.
Jesus Christ. Test show, test show. I'm being tricked.
We have a lot of well-wishers here tonight, and a lot of them would like to throw you down one. A well. They want to murder you in a well. Seems a little harsh, but apparently they want to murder you in a well. It says here on this card.
Hey, a new study shows 37% of people talk to their car. It's the first study ever conducted by the International Organization of David Hasselhoff.
No, but Bob has a beautiful face, like a flower. Yeah, cauliflower. No offense, but your face looks like a cauliflower.
President of ESPN says he quit the network because he was being extorted over his cocaine use. Cocaine also explains why fuck it.
As you can see, he has wavy hair. It's waving goodbye on account of he's going bald.
Did you know every planet in our solar system is named after a god?
I did not know that.
Except Earth, which is named after all that stuff on the ground. Okay, can I keep this?
You got
I love this.
No, I think that that Bob should join the Ku Klux Klan. And that's not because he's racist. He's not racist. It's just that he'd look a lot better with a hood over his head on account of his face. How can you not get that?
Call me old-fashioned, but I long for the days when wives stayed at home and only cost 3 goats.
I get that one.
Now, I heard you have hair on your chest, Bob, and, well, let me tell you something. That isn't your only resemblance to Rin Tin Tin. You're a fucking dog face. No, there are times when Bob has something on his mind, when he wears a hat. With no thoughts at all, just a hat.
I don't want fancy things or fancy schmancy things. I don't even want fancy schmancy wancy things or fancy schmancy take a trip to Francie things. What I want is wasting your time and mine.
You're an infant.
The joke. I don't think we're coming back either. Don't say that at me. Here's the joke.
TV pitch, 3 words, young Gene Shalit.
I'd watch that. I would watch.
They are going to have to lease editing equipment for this show.
Hey, what about this joke? If you can't handle me when I'm covered in the blood of a boar I've just sacrificed to the gods, then you do not deserve me during the bountiful harvest that will result. Nah, those things don't work out.
I'm not coming back, Norm.
And Bob is not very worldly. He thinks the English Channel is a British TV station and not a body of water separating England and France. No, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's never bought Christmas seals. He told me he wouldn't know what to feed them.
When I was a kid, I walked in on my parents having sex. It was the most embarrassing half hour of my life. This is what I saw. This is what I saw. I walked in.
Your mom is lucky.
I walked in. I take after my father. I like my movies like I like my pasta. Meatballs, too. Okay, go.
I can't stand stuck-up bodies of water.
Is that right?
It's like, get over yourself, Lake Superior. My favorite NCAA teams all happen to be colors. Auburn, Navy, Sienna, and hot bubblegum pink.
Oh, they're very good, yes, they. Do you want to say it again?
No.
Oh, here's something interesting. You don't have to hold on to that.
I'm just trying to believe that somebody actually wrote that as a joke.
Jane, if you fight fire with fire, there's only one winner. America's powerful fire lobby.
Who writes these?
My palm reader told me that I have nice hands, maybe the nicest hand she's ever seen. Also on Friday, I'm going to get hit by a train. But let's be honest, most people you ever see go skinny dipping are more actually going dipping. Let's just be. And now, Jane Fonda will do the last joke, so say your joke.
If I could add one president to Mount Rushmore, it would be James Polk, because I'm interested to know what he looked like.
What did he look like? I took him to a ball game, and he came toting a double-barreled shotgun. You remember that? I said, what the H is that for? Bob said, I heard the Lions were playing the Tigers.
Imagine how different our world would be if Mumford had remained childless.
Fad, Mumford?
Fad.
Fad.
Fad?
Shut up. Okay, next.
You know, I've been jogging for a few months now, Chevy, and you might like to know that I recently set a personal record for a 5-mile run. 3 miles. And now, the final joke by Chevy Chase.
To me, perfect sex is like a car wash. You start by lining up right and going in slow, and you finish when 3 Mexican dudes run up and furiously towel you off.
This is not a great joke. I shouldn't editorialize. A storm picked up eggs and milk over the Rockies and is now battering the Midwest. It's a terrible... So that's not much of a joke. M. Night, take everything you know about bread and throw it out the window. Okay? Did you do that?
I did.
Great. Now, let me tell you about a little invention I made. Bread.
Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
You're not saying she's a gold digger.
But she does have several shovels, picks, and panning sluices strapped to her burrow.
Oh, well. She may, in fact, be a gold digger.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Wearing glasses doesn't always make you smarter. For example, you must wear them on your face. I'm missing it.
Right now, and just give everything to that one word, face.
Okay. Wearing glasses doesn't always make you look smarter. For example, you must wear them on your face.
No, nailed it.
Is that good?
Yes, that's very good.
It.
You know these donkey shows
I feel
down
like that's a pity laugh. Definitely this area was a pity. That was a pity. There was a couple of genuine over there.
Sure.
Okay, here's the final joke.
Final joke. The inside of the human body is more of a miracle than you'd first think.
Even more of a miracle than you'd first think. Why is that?
Since everything goes on in there in total darkness.
Well, you never... What? Wait, no. Oh, cut it!
That can't be the way we end.
No. Authors are obsessed. This is what, you know, going back to I don't know, Updike and Hemingway, male authors have been
you know, anyways, male authors do tend to be obsessed with female bodies. Male authors obsessed with female bodies. Going on about webbed feet and soft insulated. I'm sorry, that's male otters. No. This concludes the joke.
Who are you? I'm Callista Flockhart. Who the hell do you think I am? I'm deaf. Which one of you is Peter Griffin?
He is.
Come on, man. Which one of you is Peter Griffin?
This is Peter Griffin.
Hey, that's a good one.
What? Why are you...
No, wait. I'm not finished holding my sides.
Why are... Why are you here? The doctor said Peter was okay.
Oh, the doctor. Well, I guess he must know, right? I mean, he's a doctor and everything, and I'm just, Death.
Excuse me. Hello, I'm Stewie. Big fan. Look, Death, you made a mistake. I'm not really supposed to be dead.
Oh, I made a mistake, huh? Then what do you call this?
I don't care what that says. You can't take my husband.
Mother, where are your manners? Don't argue with our guest. Won't you join us for dinner, Death?
Oh, no, I don't want to be a bother. Is that turkey?
Yes, Death. We were in the middle of a turkey dinner to celebrate Peter's good health.
Oh, do you mind?
Ew, how did you do that?
Oh, well, let's just say when I was younger, I did some films I'm not particularly proud of. Well, that does it for me. Let's go, Peter.
Wait! You can't go. After dinner, we usually go into the living room and live for another 40 or 50 years.
40 or 50? Let's go.
Hey, Death, you got a file on me?
Yeah, somewhere. It's in the car, I think.
Does it mention that I ran 2 weeks of junior varsity track?
Let's not do this. Hey, look, I caught Flo, Joe. You don't think I can catch you? Ah! Ah! My ankle! Ah! Yeah, listen, don't help or anything. I'm totally fine. Damn Irish.
I got a B+ in health. Is there anything I can do?
Yeah, why don't you boil some water and rip up some sheets there, Einstein? It's a sprained ankle. I just have to stay off it for a few days.
Wait, you can't stay here.
Why not?
You're trying to kill me. Besides, how are we supposed to explain you to Mr. Roper? Hey, make yourself at home, Death. I'm going out for a little while.
Hey, wait. You can't tell anyone I'm here. For if humanity discovers I'm no longer lurking in the shadows, the consequences will be dire.
Go on.
That's it. What the hell do you see in him?
It's your turn, Death.
Yeah, I know I should find this ironic, but really I'm just bored as hell. Hey, how old is this TV? You could probably get the Dumont network on this thing.
You know, Peter is a good man and a wonderful father.
Here it comes.
Could you please find it in your heart to spare him? After all, it isn't really his time.
What'd you make this cocoa out of? Crap?
If you want me to make it again...
Sorry, Lois. It's my fault. I just assumed you were going to make it with milk, not crap.
I'll be right back. Joey, leave Death alone.
He's okay. You know, he reminds me a lot of me at that age. I just hope his teen years go better than mine. Boy, talk about awkward.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Sandy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Sandy. Oh. Sandy? Oh, not again. I'm going to be a virgin forever. Or am I?
I brought you something to read.
Oh, glamour. Great. I can learn how to please my man. Go get me an Entertainment Weekly. I hear it's got a great picture of me sneaking up on Tom Snyder.
Can we please talk about Peter? He has so much to live for, Death. He loves his children and me.
Okay. I'll spare his life. But you owe me if you get my drift. What the hell are you doing? I was talking about another fruit cup. Not bad, though.
Peter, Death just agreed to let you live.
Oh, man, this really is my night. I get to live and I'm on TV.
Our top story tonight, the rules of death no longer apply.
Fascinating story, Tom.
It sure is, Diane. And since the laws of death no longer apply, I can do this.
That's right, Tom.
And now it's time for sports.
Great, the whole world is laughing at me. This is high school all over again. Well, I'll show them. I'll show all of them. Oh, my God, that hurt.
We now return to 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, as read by Norm MacDonald.
'Twas the night before Christmas. Wait, 'twas? What's 'twas? Is that short for it was? What kind of rush are you in, man? You can't just say it was? Oh, you saved a lot of time there, fella. Oh, don't come at me with that it was stuff. I got things to do. Got to get down to the donut shop. You know, 2 days ago, I was at the donut shop, and I said, hey, donut guy, you got anything warm back there? He says, try the fritters. They were. They were? What does that even mean? They were. You must mean twere. The fritters twere warm. What's that? We're out of time. Oh, I'm fired. Hey, you know O.J. Simpson is a wife-beating murderer, right? Oh, right, was. 'Twas!
Is it really my fault? 'Cause you try to hit me with your pity till I can't trust, but I still push on. Got me changing my ways, trying to fix it.
Maybe I'm old-fashioned, you know? But, like, you tell me, because you're a gay guy. But I go into a gym. I go into workout. You know what I mean? I want to work out and I want to get my pecs and lats and shit like that, right? You know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. But then I go into the locker room. Now, the last thing I want to see there is some guy's fucking hot, beautiful asshole.
But anyways, I went to my trainer. Oh, God. I don't work out. I'm a weak man. You know that, Dennis.
Well, listen, you and I were on the Mount Olympus of weakness.
And not just physically.
No, in every way.
In every single way. So I told the guy that, and he said he couldn't do anything except for the physical part. But I don't know if he was the best trainer anyway. He was smoking a butt the whole time.
No, that's not good.
That's just a joke. He was a big guy. And but I told him, I said, look, I don't want be big like you. You know, I don't want veins. I have no use for that in my arms, you know, or abs. I don't want abs. I don't even know quite what they are. All I know is they were invented around the 80s. And I don't even know what you do when you get them. You know what I mean? Because you got to wear a shirt. You know. You just go to work and go, hey, you want to see these things on my belly? Everybody's like, no. But so I told the guy, I said that I'm here for one reason and one reason only. I want to have one hot ass. But this guy explained to me, it was horrible. First he puts me on a treadmill, and they really should give that a better name too, a treadmill. You know, it's so. And it's exactly what it is. You're just
you're like a beast of burden at that point.
Yeah, just trudging. You get real tired and you go nowhere, you know? I get enough of that in my real life, you know?
Me too.
Yeah, sure. Then he puts me on one of those weight machines, you know?
Yeah. Which weight machine exactly? Free weights or some sort of...
No, it's a real modern gym.
Oh, I see.
With the machines. I can't explain all of this because I've only been to the
just your first day, right.
But it was a thing where I had to push up, you know, real hard with my arms, you know, these plates, you know.
Who needs it?
And so I hit the wall after about one. Right? And the guy wanted me to do 20, you know, so he's like, you can do it, you know. So I proved him wrong. So my arm hurts. That's the long and the short of it, Dennis, is that my arm hurts.
So I'm not
Why-
going. I'm not
Why
going.
only one? Why only one arm?
I don't know. That's an interesting question. But it's the back. It's not the bicep. You know.
No.
It's the opposite one.
Mm-hmm.
And as they said in the Friends of Eddie Coyle, it hurts like a bastard.
Now, do you feel comfortable jumping into the common shower after a workout at a health club, Norman? Is that something you'd be comfortable with, or no?
No. You know,
No.
Listen, if I go to a gym, I go to a gym to work out. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I don't like that thing where you go into the thing and everybody's naked, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Because I go there, I just want to get in, towel off, and go out. You know, the last thing I want to do is stare at some guy's beautiful ass for 20 minutes, you know?
We've got a theme here today.
I know,
Some sense
it
of
is leaning heavily on that word.
Well, there's a narrative. There's a through line.
You know what I mean? Like, I go there, I do the curls, I do this thing here.
Literally do
that
none of
gets
those
the chest,
things,
and I go like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to be in the fucking locker room hiding behind a fucking thing, staring at the guy's beautiful balls from behind. You know what I mean? I got no time for that shit. I went to Brokeback Mountain, and I thought it was a Western. Fucking tell me it's a Western. No, I'm not. Watching it, and I'm like, where's the guy? I want to see a guy with a white hat and a guy with a black hat, and I want to see them shooting each other up in front of the saloon, you know? Last thing I want to see is a close-up of a beautiful hot cock slipping into an asshole. Now, they didn't show that in the movie, but why not? If they're going to make a movie, make it right.
It's nobody's business but ours.
This is a one-shot thing we got going on here.
You know, it could be like this always.
So I want to be in the back cheering, go, go, Sheriff. You'll get the fucking townsfolk behind you. You know, when it really comes down to it, I don't want to be fucking whacking off on some fucking guy in front of me and come all over him, and then he's got to come all over him, and then he's young, and then who's the homophobe, right? This guy is so fucking unsure of his sexuality. He's mad at me because I jizzed all over his face.
Because I was on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?
Yeah.
And that was my charity, right? And so I won $500,000. And
Hold the Wall gang?
Hold the Wall gang.
Yeah.
But I didn't tell them. So they just got a check for
$500,000.
$500,000.
Should have got $1 million.
So then, yeah.
I want to get into that.
So then, they keep sending me they want more money. Like they think
it's like an alumni association.
Yeah, they think I'm a guy with $500,000 every fucking year. So I'm like, no, I don't have $500,000.
Yeah, this Norm MacDonald, he must be some sort of shipping magnate or something.
Exactly.
I've never heard of him, but he evidently has very deep pockets and loves homeless children, so we should just keep hitting him up for money.
That's exactly it. He was going to meet me, so he's my hero. Kind of. I love that.
Newman's your hero?
Well, I love all his movies, and I love how he's conducted his life.
Oh, boy, do I have a documentary for you.
Really?
Yeah.
The one you made?
Yeah, it's all about his racing life.
Oh, that's awesome, because, I love that. I don't know how old he was, but he was 40 or something. You know, he was, when he started racing. And
Yeah,
he became
late
one of the-
40s.
Became one of the best
4-time
amateur
national
drivers.
champion.
Amazing.
I got 2 of his championship cars 100 feet from here.
And he's by all evidence, he was monogamous with Joanne Woodward. You know, he wasn't a player when he was the most handsome guy ever.
Norm, was this, it's a little Paul Newman going on down there, right?
Hmm?
No,
You were
more like,
handsome, Norm.
yeah, you were handsome.
Huh?
What the happened? Anyway, no, I did Weekend
Have
Update.
you seen Paul Newman lately?
You do look better.
You know what I mean?
You know what's weird I just thought about, Norm? I think you might appreciate this conceptually. We appreciate 2 dudes. We appreciate the guy who's been faithful to his wife for 47 years and never looked the other way with all the trappings of Hollywood.
Yeah.
And we then thus also worship at the altar of the guy who fucked everything that wasn't nailed down. Like, boy, that guy was serious cocksman. I mean, boy, he fucked everyone. We don't, but when someone goes, he fucked like 8 chicks over the course of 40 years, we go, I don't know about him.
Well, you know, it's like if a guy,
it's feast or famine in the fucking department.
It's like if a
one
guy,
chick or 180.
If a guy gets divorced twice, he's kind of a loser. But if he gets divorced 9 times, he's a character.
Oh, ladies' man. Yeah, hide the daughters when he comes into town.
I met Mickey Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, he was the biggest star in the world, and he was married.
Norm's eating, by the way, for anyone who wants to know what's going on.
So he was married to, I don't know, but it was like Ava Gardner, like 7 beautiful women, the biggest women, most beautiful women in Hollywood. So in his head, he still thought he could get these women, you know.
It works on chicks. It doesn't work on dudes.
Oh,
what I'm saying
you mean
is,
like B. Arthur or something.
Yeah, like if I found out that Lorenzo Lamas Jr. was banging B. Arthur 10 years ago, I wouldn't go, well, fuck, give me a piece of that shit. I'd go, he's got a mental condition. But women, when they find out that Sophia Loren is sucking off this fat producer, then they go, oh, must be good enough for me. You see how it works?
Did Sophia Loren suck off a fat producer?
Oh, yeah.
Is that true?
How do you think we know her name?
My Lord God.
I don't know for sure.
But you're allowed on this show to just slander
we can say
everybody.
what we want. Well, no, I'm not. Look, she's a dear friend. Sophie's a dear friend.
God.
No, I don't know her background. All I can say for sure is this, that it works this way with women. If there's one dude who beds a Kardashian and a Paris Hilton, he'll then get to, and a Lindsay Lohan, he'll get to mow through other Hollywood hot chicks.
Like David Spade is that guy.
Yeah, David Spade is that guy.
And I would say he's more, because Warren Beatty was always the gold standard, but Spade doesn't have the looks of Warren Beatty.
He's the aw shucks rapist.
Rapist?
Well, I don't know why you brought up rapist.
My Lord.
No, what I'm saying is Spade has quietly mowed through the entire bevy of blondes in this town, but he does it in a sort of unassuming way.
Yeah, Spade is an interesting character because he's outside of Hollywood. He makes fun of it, and yet he's deeply inside of Hollywood.
Balls deep, a lot.
Yeah,
many would argue.
No, but you know he'll be on red carpets, and I went out with him one time. He's like, "Let's go to a bar." We go to a fucking bar, and then people let us in, which is horrible. Like past everybody.
Right.
We go, let those guys in. Spade.
Yeah, there goes Spade and his bodyguards. His haggard bodyguard.
He's haggard, is right. So I've never seen a picture of George Harrison not haggard.
He's somewhere, but he's be-haggard. He's like beleaguered and haggard. Like he's haggard with a beleaguered
Be-haggard?
Yeah. How about the fact that George Harrison, hold on, we got to get back to this.
Yeah.
How about the fact that he just got done beating cancer and a mad person broke into his estate and stabbed him repeatedly?
I forgot about that. Jesus Christ, that's bad luck.
Did anyone think that maybe hanging with the Dalai Lama isn't what it's cracked up to be, like in terms of karma?
How do you get into those? Like, remember that guy was going to jump over and rape Steven Spielberg, and
right? Duct tape his mouth. I don't know why you're so fixated on rape. But continue. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just playing on you, baby. All right?
It seems easier. It is that kind of thing where it's like, what happened? Well, George Clooney was in Toronto shooting for 3 weeks, and a woman moved into his house. It's like. It seems a little casual considering there's walls and security cameras and alarm systems, but
Letterman would come home and there'd be a lady that thought he was his wife.
Waiting in bed. And he only fucked her twice.
Oh, my Lord. I have a stalker. Get this. My stalker.
Oh, you have a stalker?
Yeah.
Well, hold on a second.
68-year-old lady.
All right, so you and David Spade are walking into a bar.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was saying that?
Yeah.
So we go into the bar. So it's packed with people, and I don't like a lot of people now. And then you get a little fucking plastic drink, and you drink it, and then Spade goes, let's get out of here. And I'm like, what? And I don't even want to be there. And, you're an inch from somebody's face. And so then we go to another bar. He does the exact same thing.
Right.
Let's get out of here. So he just goes places and exits. But,
but I think there's a power. I think there's a certain power in leaving.
Yeah, I guess there is.
Yeah.
But with women, he plays the long game. Like he's always texting them. You know, he doesn't bed them the night he meets them.
Mm-mm.
Like a year later.
Right.
But he's got so many on his...
He fucks them in the bathroom. Yeah, but not on a bed. Never on a bed.
Wait, no.
I hear what you're saying. I'm reading between the lines.
I can't talk about Dave. Now it's going to
Hits
sound
him
like
in a
I'm
stall.
saying that about David.
No. What he does is he quietly, like, here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Here's what I'm saying. If you had a list of the famous coxmen of the town with the Warren Beatty's of the world and the Wilt Chamberlains and stuff like that, somewhere in the 13th spot would be David Spade.
Absolutely.
And everyone would go, how do you get on this list? A cute little blonde guy?
I'd
What
put
are you
him
talking about?
way farther up than that. Way farther up. I'd put him maybe number 1.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
In terms of sheer numbers.
Quietly goes about his business.
Yes, he does. And
until we start talking about it.
I know we shouldn't. But he's very self-deprecating about it. But he also, he knows everything that a young girl knows. Like that beautiful 20-year-old. He can talk to them about keeping up with the Kardashians and whatever the hell.
Right.
And then if I
Nobody's gonna change, you won't ever leave. On my mind again, I'm still not tired of it. Can make you want me. And I might act okay, say things will stay the same. Say I'm all I need. But every other night, I'm begging for that high. I'll come clean. Half the time, just wanna stop. Can't find another you if I'm lost. Can't find another you if I'm lost.
The press would be great. Tim Russert, right?
Yeah, you and Tim.
Me and Tim would be a great
load of laughs.
No, you guys lost me.
He doesn't know who Tim Russert is.
Anything about Tim Russert.
He only
really
knows supermodels.
I get blank stares.
Yeah,
Hey, listen, Larry, you live next to me in Beverly Hills now. You knew Clampett. You're right next to me.
Clampett.
I just heard you're gonna come by
don't
my.
give the address.
We're gonna. I know where you are. You're by Nate Now's, and my house has a water wiggle out front, and you're gonna have to come by and hang out with me.
What is that?
What's a water wiggle?
That's his thing for a supermodel.
What an idiot.
What was the... I was thinking about that unconscious, subconscious thing, because I remember my buddy one time, he's in psychology, he went to college, this guy, and I love milk, right? So we were eating a meal one time, and so I take a drink of milk, and my friend goes, you know why you're drinking that milk, right, Norm? And I say to him, it's not because I like milk, I know that. Because I know this guy, So he goes, no, it's not. He goes, the reason you're drinking that milk is because you miss sucking on your mother's breast. I'm like, ah. Now you guys don't know my mother. But she's wonderful. She's a saint. You know how people, say their mothers are saints? My mother is actually a saint. So, I mean, she hasn't performed 2 miracles or anything. She's not actually a saint. But she's much more saint-like than your fucking mother. That's what I'm saying. But there was a generation, like my mother's 85, there was a generation of women that you all know. Maybe it was your mother, maybe it was your grandmother. But they lived at a time, and I support you, me too, you too. More than anything, because, for the young girls, it's going to be fantastic. But no one like my mother will ever exist again. And it's just this generation of women that were so, selfless and, like my mother would be, the type of woman, like at dinner time, everyone's eating and she's in the kitchen. And everybody have a second, are you sure? And then, oh my, the turnips. And wanted to make sure everybody got, and then she would, whatever was left, she would make a little plate for herself, And that's what my mother was like. Still is like, she lives right beside me. Her eyes shine love. I've never heard her say a phrase that had any irony flecked in, She just
and so happy, you know. Like she'll come back to the grocery store, she'll go, Norm, the funniest thing happened in the store. I say, what happened, Mom? She says, there was a woman buying pineapple. It was $1.69 last week, and this week it was $1.19. I'm like, that's not a story, old bag. What the fuck? Like a story has to, I don't say that, but I would trade places with my mother in a second, because all she knows is love, you know, how to love people. That's hard, man. That's hard. Man, I forgot why you brought that up. Oh, I remember. I don't want to suck her tits. So maybe I'm shallow. I want to suck my mother's tits, all right? So anyways, I'm having this discussion with this guy at the fucking restaurant, and now, after he tells me this, the milk is still there. And what the fuck am I gonna do? Guzzle it? Milk, you know, I can't just leave it there. It was the worst. Whatever. Oh, and then it came time to order our entrees. You know what this guy gets? 2 meatballs and a banana. I'm like, hey! Wait, it wasn't even on the menu. Like he had to. What's good for the goose is, this is just absolutely. I read about that subconscious, unconscious. They said when you pick a president, this is an election year. This is kind of some. Well, another Thanksgiving has come and gone, and I thought it would be a good idea this year for me and my mother to say what we were thankful for. This is my mother, Fern. Now, we've written them down on index cards, what we're most thankful for. Should I begin?
You can just start.
I am thankful for the opportunity to do stand-up comedy for a living. Why, there is nothing more gratifying than to step out on a stage before a quiet crowd and through my comedy, turn them into an unruly mob.
I am thankful for the brave man who pulled me from a burning building last week and sadly perished. In the process, I'll never forget him. I don't remember his name, but I think he had a mustache.
I am thankful for women, the greatest creatures on earth, because without women, there would be no cookies.
I am thankful for the kindly ladies who live across the country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me have a bite to eat from time to time. I am thankful for the troops, except for that one guy. I am thankful for all of my grandchildren, especially the ones I like. I am thankful for the fine young men and women of the LAPD, along with the Burbank Police Department, who joined forces this year and finally solved the baffling murder of Bob Hope. And finally, I am thankful for friends without which it would be a cold and dark place. Yes, friends especially like ones where Joey gets Chandler a duck. The end. I hope everybody had a really happy Thanksgiving.
Why you going high? Push me to the side. Let's keep going on and on, and I ain't getting tired. Yeah, you try to crucify all the good inside. You go and call 911.
Norm MacDonald's mom is here. Should we say hi to her?
Yeah,
She's
where is
back.
she? Come
Way in the back there.
There she is!
Hey,
Norm got her last row.
That's right. All right.
And I just want to point out, she's been at every taping of my show for 23 years. She always sits right in the back, so she can get out of here. We get her the best seat, beat the traffic.
That's right.
Norm MacDonald's mom! Well, there she is right there. She tried to leave her.
Now, Norman, you're an inventive guy. Which of the current batch of inventions has tickled your fancy? What do you like?
Well, Henry Ford just invented the assembly line there,
Right,
you know?
yeah, I heard
and that
him.
was good because he wanted, you know, not just rich people, but anyone to drive over and see his cock.
Well, is there any other one that's caught your fancy?
There was Alexander Graham Bell.
Yeah.
You know, he invented the telephone.
Right.
So he could call people up, tell them to come on over and see his cock, you know, because he was tired of yelling it out the window. So, hey,
theme development.
check out my cock.
So, Norm, I hear you just got back from New York City. What's happening in Gotham?
Oh, my God. Well, the big thing is the new Empire State Building. Have you seen this?
I've heard. I have not seen yet.
Oh, it's crazy. What I'm interested in is the original architect's blueprint, you know?
Yes.
It called for the building to be painted flesh tone, Dennis, with a large rounded head so the architect could lie on the street and pretend he had a 1,000-foot cock. Frank Lloyd Wright, more like Frank Lloyd Cock.
So, Norm, tell me, what's your take on this whole Cold War thing?
Well, my brother works down at the UN, right? And you remember last week when Khrushchev was banging his shoe on the table?
Crazy bastard.
Yeah. So my brother was sitting beside him, and Khrushchev, like, he accidentally slips, and my brother gets hit right in the cock.
With the shoe?
Yeah, by Khrushchev's shoe. So my brother turns to him, he says, "Hey, you hit me in the cock again, you dirty commie, I'll bury you."
So what's been happening, man?
Oh, man, I dropped acid the other week. That is bizarre stuff.
Really?
Yeah, my cock started singing to me. I like Joe Cocker.
Stood for something other than just being Mexico's bitch. I say if President Clinton 296 doesn't snap us out of this downward spiral we're in, we dump his gay ass. Next election process, we clone Jesse Ventura again, bring him back. Hey, Norm.
Hey, you know what I think they should put on the dark side of the moon?
What?
Vast fields of bioengineered hydroponically grown cock. Yeah, you know, like a backup supply just in case our earthbound supply of cock might run out one day.
Little cock tucked away for a cocky day.
Exactly. Look at my head, man. It looks like a cock.
It does.
Cock. 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 That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. No, but Andy's a fantastic guy.
I'm curious about something.
And when I say, you know, I used to make jokes at 12:30 about him being gay, that's absolutely ridiculous. But when we were starting out, I will tell you one story about Andy. This is what happened.
I'm scared.
I was working at Art's
the deli and coffee shop.
The deli and coffee shop, bussing tables. So Andy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, I got a way to make some money." I said, "What is your way?" He goes, "I'm going to become a male prostitute." Now I said, "Andy, you're not gay. It doesn't make any sense." He goes, "But a guy has to make a dollar." So I said, "All right, do what you want." You know? So he comes to me the next day and he says, "Hey, I'm buying breakfast." I says, "Why is that?" He says, "I made $400
$450.05 last night. Wow. I said, what on earth? He goes, yeah, did some tricks there, you know, they call it. So I said to him, you know, I eat steak and eggs. I eat, you know, expensive. He says, that's all right. I made $450.05. And I said, well, who on earth gave you 5 cents? He said, every one of them.
Good God, you're a horse's ass.
I was concerned. That's simple arithmetic. That's 9,001 dudes.
We'll take a break.
Then he says he's mature, and I think it's because he's telling my grandfather's jokes.
Let me read you something that was posted on our message boards from someone who claims to be a member of a known pedophile network. It said this: he doesn't forgive, he does not forget, his group has over 9,000 penises, and they're all raping children.
I was concerned. That's simple arithmetic. That's 9,001 dudes.
Well, guys, it is a bittersweet night for us tonight.
Yeah, on September 14th, our friend Norm MacDonald passed away.
That's right. Norm is the reason that I ever wanted to do Weekend Update, and so tonight we thought we'd turn the last few jokes of Update over to Norm.
Thanks, I'm Norm MacDonald, and now the fake news. At the White House this week, President Clinton officially came out against same-sex marriages. What's more, the president said he is not too crazy about opposite-sex marriages either. Here we see the president and the first bitch. A new airport planned for San Diego would actually be located 3 miles out in the Pacific Ocean, built on 40 by 20-foot floating cylinders. It's all part of a plan by city officials to have a huge disaster. The Federal Aviation Administration has come up with a list of 30 changes to make air travel safer. Number 1 on the list, no more crashes. They've decided to... A French man who calls himself the Snake Man was arrested this week after climbing up the side of a Manhattan high-rise. Yep, he climbed right up the side of a high-rise, just like a snake. Well, it is finally official. Murder is legal in the state of California. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. And it occurred to me, I haven't gotten funnier. The show has gotten really bad. So yeah, I'm funny compared to, you know, well, you'll see later. But
What are you doing now?
I just saw on the TV my hair.
Okay. All right.
Now, he said from the beginning of, in '93, when he did stand-up, he would call the TV
the TV.
The TV.
Who else do you know who says the TV?
Oh, I know who you're talking about, Bob Dylan.
Right.
Because I got to meet Bob Dylan once, and I was backstage with our guitarist Jimmy Vivino at a Bob Dylan show, and suddenly I got literally like pushed into a room where there was some, heavy-hitting people in there. I did not consider myself, nor do I still, one of those, but I got pushed in, and I got kind of shoved to the front of this line, and there's Bob Dylan. And he looked right at me, and he went, I know you from the TV. And I remembered that in my head, like he calls the television the TV with the emphasis on T. And then Norm, all these years, used to say, it's the TV.
Now, Norm is a giant Dylan fan.
I didn't know that.
Enormous Dylan fan. And sometimes in his material, I feel like there's...
I think that's just Minnesota and Canada. Bob Dylan's from Minnesota.
Yep.
So you're hearing a guy from Minnesota, and you're hearing a guy from Canada, and you're hearing just a North American, the TV,
Right.
Because that Canadian guy also says, like, I'm not a hobo, I mean, those are all old, crusty white manisms, very Canadian, very upper northern, U.S.
Well, here's an interesting fact, and I don't think it's been out there publicly, but Dylan was a fan of Norm's and invited him to his house.
Oh, wow.
And Norm was at Dylan's Malibu house for like 2 days.
Wow.
Wow. Spent the night.
Slept there.
Wow.
And
you want coffee?
What do you want to watch on the TV?
Who wants waffles?
What do you want to watch on the TV? Let's both watch the TV. Finally, I found someone who says it right.
You want to play volleyball?
But he told me about this, and it was an interesting experience. But he never talked about it publicly, which shows you, first of all, what a thrill that must have been for this guy who grew up a Dylan fan. But he talked about almost everything. Ask Bob Uecker.
Yeah.
He didn't keep much secret, but he never really talked about Dylan, and it just shows you how much he did.
Right, he didn't trade off of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Any other comedian could have turned that into like a whole special,
Just a little time. Coming down the stairs, just a little space to hold my
He spoke like someone from the 1920s. He would talk about hobos.
Yeah.
And he would say my wife, a battle axe.
Yeah.
He talked in this way that was from a different time. I'm just an old lump of coal.
Some of my strongest material comes from real life.
Real life?
Like, for instance, today I was driving in a car. You were kind enough to bring a car to bring this old chunk of coal here to the studio.
We send cars for our guests, yes.
Yeah, so I got in it, and I get material that way. So my driver...
What do you mean? How do you get material that way? You get in the car, and what happens?
My driver tells me a joke.
I'm scared now.
No, firstly, Conan, I'm thankful for the fine ladies who live across this country and leave pies on their windowsills. So an old chunk of coal like me might have a meal from time to time.
Okay.
I am going to return to my former sexual lifestyle.
Well, yeah, what's that?
It's trying to find a lady and convincing her to let me lie down on top of her.
That sounds so romantic, the way you describe it. I want to lie down on top of you and take a nap? What do you...
I'm just an old chunk of coal that likes to,
Old chunk of coal. Yeah. Likes S&M, apparently.
No, that's what I was just trying to... I'm getting back to just lying on top of a lady.
Okay, all right.
I play Geezer, who is me, actually. Geezer's just an old chunk of coal that, Thank you for having this old chunk of coal from the Ottawa Valley on your big city program.
We are so pleased to have you with us, Norm.
But my Merle Haggard was opening for him, And I'm just an old chunk of coal. And I like Merle.
I wrote a song later on
called I'm Just an Old Chunk of Coal, but I'm going to be a diamond someday.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a lump of coal, but...
Everybody says lump of coal,
Yeah,
but I
but
like
chunk
chunk.
sounds better.
It does, more masculine or something.
Down in Texas, they say chunk. Give me a chunk of that cake or a pie or something like that.
Morsel of coal.
Oh, yeah.
Chunk.
Yeah,
Chunk.
a chunk of
Yeah. A lot of people...
I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday.
When they talk about that song, say lump of coal. I don't know if you know.
I know they do because that's a natural thing to say.
Yeah.
But it didn't sound good to me.
Briquette? No, but you know, the reason I don't like lump of coal is it brings me right to a Christmas stocking. You know what I mean? That they
Oh
put
my
lumps
God,
of
he's on a
coal.
roll.
No, but that is why I love chunk.
I know it's time to close my eyes to old ends, open up to new friends, leave my heart in Berlin, where the tables turning, seeking up a...
Don't miss the show that critics are calling insightful.
Hi, I'm Josh.
No, I'm Norm, and we're on, what?
Back on the road.
And informative.
It's not a bag, it's a new type of travel magazine for television. Jesus Christ, man.
I'm sorry.
Norm and Josh are back on the road.
You told me you had a cock yesterday.
It's...
Oh, you said you kept it in your ass.
The tour begins, and...
You know, whatever happens, so be it.
Back on the road, coming soon to your town. But hopefully not.
When I die, I want to be cremated, and my ashes spread eagle and fucked hard, like a fucking real tramp. What? Come on, man. Why did they make me say that?
Wow.
Jesus Christ. You see, somebody writes that. It's not me. It's just some fucker over there in the next room.
Yeah.
And then I say it, like a goddamn robot. And then people think I thought of it. But I'm clearly, you know. Been thinking about your mortality a lot lately? Or?
Well, yeah, I mean, you turn 70 and it's you can't run from it.
Ah, fuck, I was hoping you could. When I die, I want my body donated to science. But more specifically, a scientist who is working on bringing dead guys back to life.
Oh, that's just, is that funny at all? That's just a statement. I'm serious, am I crazy? When I die, I want my body to be donated to science, but more specifically, a scientist who's working on bringing dead guys back to, yeah, that I don't...
Okay, forget that one.
That could
Forget
be
that
funny.
One. But this one, I have my funeral, you know?
Yeah.
And you know, most of these funerals, crying and sad and everything like that. And that's what I like, you know? I don't want, I've heard of other ones, let's have a party. Whoa, whoa.
No party.
There'll be a lot of party days later. But right now, I'm dead. I mean, you know, people should be talking, crying.
I listened to an interview you gave Larry King, and you said the ruin of Donald Trump will be his addiction to playing the halls, right? So he's a great performer. He just wanted to be you, like he wanted to be a stand-up comedian, and he just accidentally became a president?
My guess would be that his plan was to make a big splash, lose, That's not good. What should we do now, Joyce?
Just don't answer, okay? If it's possible.
No, I won't answer.
Yeah.
So should I start answering that question again?
Sure.
Yeah, I think him becoming president surprised him. I think, you know, it's funny that people don't remember, but back in the debates, there was a big issue with Donald Trump saying if he lost, it meant the election. Are you kidding me? I know, I did. Oh, 1 second. Hello? Yes. Oh, I gotta call you back. I'm on the TV, man. Yeah, I'm on the TV right now. Oh my God. Oh, but I'll call you right back. Sorry.
Okay, I'm not going to ask you
turn
the
the
question
sound
again.
Norm, did you ever hear the word?
The phone is ringing.
I certainly hope that's somebody calling to tell you to go home.
Oh, no.
Dude, you got a phone ringing.
Oh.
Answer the phone.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. The thing is this. There, you know Matt Strauss?
Yeah, the producer.
The producer. He told me it would be funny. He said, like, why don't you carry a cell phone on and then let it ring and then pretend like there's a guy on it.
Is there anybody on it?
No, it's a thing. Pretend.
You know what, Norm? You're a dead man.
Here, you talk to him now.
You know what, Barbara? You know what you said about rage and work?
Give this man a plate of soup and tell him to shut up.
Norm,
all right then. Let's see.
Norm.
What?
Okay, listen, Norm, listen.
So I said, I can think of something. I can handle it, you know? Because for like Letterman or somebody like that, it's real hard. You have to be really on the top of your game, as you know.
Right, yeah.
Because he's real funny. But The View, it's not that tough, you know, to keep up with.
Right, sure.
Star Jones or whatever, whoever they are. So
Barbara Walters there, though.
Yeah,
she's tough to keep up with, right? I don't know what that means.
So I'm like, I'll be fine. That's what I kept telling the guy. So the guy's like, but that's their job, you know? So this guy would always have ideas. He would phone me with ideas. He'd go,
This goes on for weeks before the appearance, right?
Weeks.
It's almost like it becomes like work.
It is. Talking to that guy is harder than talking to the host, you know?
Yeah.
And he's excited, and it's his job, so I don't want to. So he'd be like, what if he came out in a red wig? I'm like, what the fuck? Why would I do that, right? He's like, the gals have been teasing Barbara about, you know, tinging her hair. I'm like, no, but then it'll look like my idea, and then I got a red wig on, and, you know.
Right,
I have
yeah.
to take
You
it
don't
off.
want to take part in their
So,
silliness.
Just over and over, you know, every time. And he goes, well, do you have anything? I go, no, I can't think, but I'll think of something, you know. So he says, anyways, one of the ones he phones me, he goes, I'll tell you what you do, man. He goes, you come out. He goes, you're talking to the gals, and all of a sudden, your cell phone rings, right? He goes, it's in the middle of the show. Like, he's really excited, right? He goes, you answer the cell phone. You go, excuse me, ladies. He goes, we're not going to tell them about it. And the cell phone rings. He goes, excuse me, ladies. It's your agent, Morty. You know he had this name?
Right. Yeah.
He goes, so you're like, Morty, you can't call me here. I'm on The View. You know, I'm on TV.
Right.
What do you mean you have an offer for me? You know? And I had this crazy Jewish accent in the story. You know, what do you mean? I can't do it. I'm on The View. So I'm like, yeah. I didn't want to, you know, you don't want to hurt people's feelings, you know. So I'm like, no, that one's, yeah, it sounds pretty good, but maybe I'll think of something else, you know.
Right.
He was so excited.
Yeah.
So anyways. This is getting to be a long story.
No, it's fine. You know, we can actually stay on the air as long as we want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I get that. So anyways, I'm really late, right? Because I had a big hand at this poker game.
Right.
So
you show up right before you gotta go on the air.
Show up. You know, so I'm going. I go. I got the story about Bill Cosby. I'll do that. I know how to do that story. I did it before on Letterman, and it'll be fine. So I go in. And I tell the guy, listen, man, I do this story about Letterman. So I walk out, you know. Now, unbeknownst to me, as I was walking out, this guy had muttered something. I hadn't slept for like 3 days, and it's just the phone call, you know. So I go, oh, yeah. You know. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he had slipped like a cell phone. He put a cell phone in my pocket.
Oh.
So anyways, I got out there, and then...
He'd slipped a cell phone in your pocket.
Yeah, thinking I was in for this
okay.
gag, right?
And it's all set to
but
ring.
I forgot.
You forgot about it.
I forgot about
it.
Okay.
and all hell breaks loose.
Now, so I
obviously.
go out to the, so I go to the View, and those 4 bags are sitting there. You know?
Oh, come on.
So, no, ladies,
Yeah.
women, you know.
Yeah.
It's not politically correct to say bag.
No.
But
Was
you know, you
Rosie
got
wasn't
Michael
there.
Richards is saying the N word. I
Yeah.
can't say the B word.
No, you can say that, absolutely.
I want to talk later about now they have the F word for fag, which is really strange.
Yeah.
But
the guy from Grey's Anatomy got in trouble for
yeah,
saying.
the N guy, the N word guy.
The F word.
No, but he was an N word guy, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
That was the irony.
Everybody's.
No, he was African American.
Everybody's going nuts out
He
there.
was African American.
Yeah. Said the F word. He said
It'd be
the F
funny
word.
if you were an African American. You know, if you were a racist, you would not say African American. Maybe you'd say the A word.
What's the A word?
The African American.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But so I go on the
yeah.
View.
Yeah.
So this is what had happened to me a month previously. This was whenever the first election was, the Bush.
Right.
Bush against
Gore.
Al Gore.
Yeah.
The first time, right? I know nothing about politics, you know. And so. But
This
what
is
happened-
right after the election?
This is before the election.
Okay.
Before the first election. So what happened was I got a call from this guy, Ben Stein. You know that guy?
Sure, yeah.
So he said, how'd you like to meet George Bush? He's running for president, you know? So I go, holy fuck, that would be cool, you know? Meet a guy running for president. Maybe later he'll become president, and I'll be his buddy, because this is how naive I was, because I knew him like 2 months before he became president.
Right.
So in Hollywood, you know, obviously very liberal, right? So so Gore showed up, and it was like Barbara Streisand and every giant star in Hollywood, right? So when Bush plane came down, literally it was me and Ben Stein. We were the celebrities.
Right.
So it was really lame. And then when George Bush came out with his wife, he said to her, "See, I told you he'd come," about me.
Right.
They were expecting maybe it would just be Ben Stein. They were really happy that 2 celebrities showed up.
Right, sure.
You know, and real peripheral celebrities. So, but it was cool because everyone hates George Bush and stuff. So I got to go on his airplane and talk to him. I talked to the guy for an hour. And
Got to
stuff.
hang out with him.
Well, yeah. So it was really cool. You know, I don't know anything about politics, but it's cool to meet the guy that's going to might be the president. You know?
Yeah.
So, anyways,
What did you talk to Bush about on his plane?
I talked to him about, well, I don't know shit about politics, but he didn't know much either.
He hadn't really been elected yet.
No, he hadn't been elected and everything, and I told him some jokes, and he sometimes he'd go like, "There's mics" or something like that.
Yeah.
It's not a very interesting story.
Right. That's cool.
But see, it's a mini.
This
layered.
guy's been just sitting here listening to the whole story.
That's why
we
I said
haven't
it's a
even
long
introduced
story.
ourselves to him yet. What's your name?
My name's David.
Where are you?
I'm just outside Montreal.
Montreal.
Algonquin.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, so you're about to walk out.
Yeah, so I go on The View, right?
Yeah.
And I'm supposed to I said, I'll talk about the Bill Cosby story, you know? So anyways, the lady from The View goes, take a look at this picture. And show a picture of me standing beside presidential nominee George Bush. And then they're like,
You're on The
"What?"
View now.
Yeah, I'm on The View. And they're like, what's going on here? That's what the lady says to me, one of the ladies, right? Like it was a fucking
Which
picture
was it? Star
of,
Jones, Meredith Vieira?
Who's the fat black one?
Well, Star Jones left the show, though. She's
There was
not
a
on there
fat African American.
Star
lady.
Jones, I think. Yeah.
That was the
she
lady.
lost a lot of weight later, too.
Yeah,
apparently.
yeah.
It was big. There was a big brouhaha over there.
Was there?
Yeah, but yeah. So she asked you that.
So she's like, "What's going on here?" Right? And it's just a picture of me with a guy running for the president. But the way they said it, it was like that picture of Kurt Waldheim with Hitler in the fucking woods, right? I'm like, I don't know. Like, what's wrong with this, right? So just to be crazy, kind of like, and just because they got under my skin, I don't know nothing about politics or nothing. I said, well, it's better than that guy that's in there now. That guy murdered a guy, Bill Clinton, right?
Right.
And then they're like, what? And I go, they go, what? So I go, he murdered a guy. Remember, some guy killed him because I remember somebody died.
Right, sure, yeah. Someone who had committed suicide. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And I heard a crazy conspiracy thing that they killed him.
So you just start, yeah.
I'm like, you killed? Don't you remember that? You know, but I'm acting like everybody knows it. I'm just acting like a retard. And then Barbara Walter goes, "You're walking a pretty thin line, mister." And I'm like, I thought it was a matter of public record. Barbara, you're a newswoman. Back me up, you know. It kept going on, and it was like, fucking, you know. And I remember she kept going like, "You're one piece of work, mister." Like getting really.
Really,
like,
really taking you seriously. Yeah. Not remembering that you know the jokes on Weekend Update were.
So I just did it to be like stupid, and then so there's just like. You know, the audience like confused, you know, and the ladies are all angry. All of a sudden, I hear like coming out of the thing like cling, ding, like it's a fucking fire alarm or something. What the fuck is that? And then I remember it's my phone, you know, my cell phone, this joke.
Oh, yeah.
The producer backstage saw that everything was going to hell and decided to fix it, you know. So, like, I go, oh, yeah, I go, Marty, man, this is a bad time to call because all the ladies hate me now and stuff like that, you know. And Barbara Walters goes, what the hell are you doing? Like, she's just...
Right.
I go, nah, I know I'm a little scared. I go, I don't know. The guy backstage, he told me that it would be funny if I pretended my Agent Morty called. And then there was like about 5 seconds of silence. And Barbara Walters said, we'll be right back. And then they gave me the boot.
That is on YouTube right now? That's on YouTube right now, apparently, Bill. Yeah. Have you queued it up? No, I don't have it yet. Oh, you don't have it? We should try to find that. Oh, my, that's uncomfortable, huh? Have you been asked back?
No.
No?
I thought it was fun.
Oh, yeah, no, that's awesome. You love those uncomfortable moments, though, right?
I like it, yeah. Like with stand-up, if I bomb, I really, really like that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Do you ever get like that?
Oh, yeah, all the time. Every night here.